Bally Sports presents the 1986 Philadelphia Phillies. Brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Tonight, live from Veterans Stadium, it's the Phillies and the New York Mets.
From Veterans Stadium, Bruce Ruffin will pitch for the Phillies tonight, and he will go against Dwight Gooden. Hi, everyone. I'm Andy Musser along with Chris Wheeler, and there's definitely some excitement in the air here at Veterans Stadium this evening. We've known for a long time, of course, that the New York Mets were going to win the NL East this year. There's no stopping them now, but the Phillies wouldn't mind slowing them down a little bit, you think?
Yeah, they'd like them to take that champagne right to St. Louis with them, and that's what it would take for a three-game sweep. But yeah, there's quite an atmosphere here tonight. All this noise in the background is for the Mets lineup in it. It's going to be like a home game for him here tonight, and hopefully the Phillies fans that are here will have a good time too, because this is going to be a heck of a game here, Andy.
You have to really wonder how the Phillies are going to react to this. They didn't have a good series in Chicago. They come back to really what amounts to a hostile crowd. How do you think they'll come out tonight?
Well, I think they want to beat New York. I think to a man, they don't want to see them dancing all over this field in a few hours. And I think they'll play well against them. The only thing is they're playing a great team who will send a tremendous pitcher out there tonight. But the Phillies have a tremendous pitcher, too.
Well, Ruffin's done an outstanding job. It's interesting that Dwight Gooden is quoted as saying he's always wanted to pitch a pennant clincher, and, of course, this is a division clincher here tonight. But he has proved to be human this year. He has been almost beatable. Well, we've been doing a series on the 1976 Phillies, who were sensational, that era from 1976 on. And tonight we're going to have part 3 for you. It's been very interesting. I hope you enjoy this final part, and our investigator is Larry Rosen.
101 wins, a franchise high. The best road record in team history. A team record 5 players on the All-Star team. The Phillies at last own the National League East. But in the West, a juggernaut awaited. The Big Red Machine had won 102. Were the Phillies prepared to elevate that extra level in the postseason?
We weren't in a mental shape to handle the Cincinnati Ball Club at that time, who were the scourge of everybody. And we went into it, and if you remember our series, we got beat 3 straight. But we led in every ball game until about the 4th, 5th inning, and I think it was the 250 writers around us. We weren't used to having that kind of popularity, so to speak, and I think we weren't ready to handle that type of a situation.
I remember I hit the first pitch of that play off the left center off of Carlton for a double. We got the bases loaded in that first inning, and we didn't score, but we ended up winning the game anyway.
The defending champion Reds were confident, making the spectacular look routine, while the upstart couldn't quite get a handle on postseason success. A Johnny Bench home run was part of the Game 3 ninth-inning rally that completed the sweep. And as the Riverfront Madness began, an isolated, introspective Danny Ozark thought of not the disappointment, but of a season filled with accomplishment.
I don't think any of the players felt really bad about, they felt bad about losing to Cincinnati, but after the whole thing was over and we finally did lose, they went on to beat the Yankees 4 straight, and they were probably the greatest team in baseball in that, that era. So when it's all over with, you say, well, they had a better ball club than we have, but we would have certainly liked to have played them again, because I think the outcome would have been different.
The Phillies of '76 had earned respect throughout the league and in the champions clubhouse.
The future was great for the Phillies, I mean, they developed some guys this year, like, Maddox had a great year for him. Johnstone, they found out he could hit if he played all the time, and Boone had a great year. I think the Phillies will be right back in there next year again.
And they did come back again and again until they stood atop the baseball world in 1980. But the seeds of that championship, planted in the early 70s, had their first harvest in 1976.
We were a great team. That was the beginning of a 3-year period where we won the division 3 straight times. The excitement at Veterans Stadium back then was at a premium. There never had been excitement about Phillies baseball prior to then.
And it was a real growing time and a fun time for all of us in the Phillies organization and the town. And
You know, when I think of Philadelphia, of course, that's what I think of. And that's, you know, there's just a love there.
And here at Veterans Stadium this evening, they're talking division championship. Unfortunately, though, it's for the Mets and not for the Phillies. But at least we do have some excitement here tonight. I think this is going to be an outstanding game for those of you watching, because the Phillies would like to stave off the Mets, and they will go behind Bruce Ruffin, who has been simply outstanding in his one game against New York this year. He won. That was back on August 13th. He beat Bobby Ojeda by an 8-4 score.
And here's the way the Phillies will go on defense for the game. Von Hayes at first base. Juan Samuel, the second baseman. At shortstop, Steve Jelf. And Mike Schmidt at third. In left field, Gary Reedus. Milt Thompson in center. Glenn Wilson in right field. Ron Reynolds as the catcher. And on the mound, the rookie left-hander Bruce Ruffin.
And you take a look at Ruffin's record. The Phillies are 12-3 in the 15 starts that Ruffin has made this year. And Davey Johnson has fashioned the following lineup. Mookie Wilson will lead off and play center. Kevin Mitchell in left. Keith Hernandez at first. Gary Carter behind the plate. Darryl Strawberry in right. Ray Knight at third. Tim Tuffle at second. Rafael Santana at short. And Dwight Gooden on the mound. Well, we're going to have a big crowd here at Veterans Stadium tonight. It could be in the 50,000 range here this evening, simply because so many New Yorkers have come to visit Philadelphia to possibly see the Mets clinch their Eastern Division title. And another big crowd is in the offing for tomorrow night, should the Mets not get it done here this evening.
Yeah, the Mets also know that when they win this thing, that they're going to play a long time before they play another big game, too. The season ends on October 5th. I think the National League playoffs begin on the 7th of October. So if they should win tonight, they're going to wait until all that time before they'll play a game that means something again. Very, very early clinch situation, but, you know, they've just been such a great team all year. They deserve it.
Mookie Wilson leads it off with his .301 batting average, and here's Ruffin's first pitch of the game. Dave Pallone is our home plate umpire. Pallone at the plate, Tom Hallion at first, Bob Engel at second, and Paul Runge at third. Ruffin is making his 16th start tonight. He has 5 complete games. A roller to shortstop. Jelf plays it, and Mookie Wilson is out, number 1. Wilson grounds to short, 1 down. That's typical of Ruffin. When he's got everything together, we'll see a lot of ground balls.
Yeah, and on that time, it looked like he threw a slider, too, and normally he'll get most of his ground balls on that sinker ball away. That time he threw a slider and jammed Mookie Wilson with it.
The batter is Kevin Mitchell, hitting at .290. He made George Foster expendable in New York, and Mitchell has come on to have a fine rookie year. Very versatile player. Foster right now is out of baseball. He was recently released by the White Sox. There's a ground ball through the middle and a base hit for Mitchell. So Mitchell gets a base hit through the middle, another ground ball, but this one didn't go at somebody.
And that's just a sinker ball from Ruffin away, and he just beats it into the ground. Luckily, Ruffin didn't touch that ball. You see him reach up with his bare hand. Well, he was thinking about it, but smart enough not to touch it.
Keith Hernandez, the batter, with the 5th top average in the league at .310. Keith with a dozen home runs, 75 runs batted in. Phillies infield sets for a double play. Hernandez leads the National League in walks with 83. Well, I think you can hear what's happening. We've got a battle of the 2 sets of fans now trying to outshout one another. I don't think the Philadelphia fans are any too happy about all these New Yorkers coming down here. Here's Ruffin, who never pitched AAA ball. Came right up from Reading. Pitch is outside. Incidentally, the Phillies were very happy to announce that they have signed a 5-year extension with the Reading Phillies in the Eastern League. The Phillies moved to the AA club to Reading back in 1967. Mitchell back. Ironically, the Phillies are catching Ron Reynolds tonight, a guy who spent last year in a Mets uniform. A little bit low.
Hernandez has been one of those guys throughout his career. It doesn't matter who's pitching out there. You know, when you're able to bat 3 your whole career, that means you don't worry too much about left-handers.
They didn't print the stats tonight, but there have been times in his career that he actually hit left-handers better than he did right-handers. Ruffin gets it over. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hernandez a little upset on that pitch. Earlier in the count, Falone called that same pitch a ball, and then he just called it a strike, which confuses the hitter early.
Hernandez third in the league in scoring runs with 85. Breaking ball grounded to the mound. Ruffin goes back the middle, gets 1, and that's all they'll get. Get the lead man as Hernandez is safe at first on a fielder's choice.
I'll give Kevin Mitchell a little credit there, too. He had a long time to get down there, but he gave a tough takeout slide, and Hernandez was able to beat the play because Jeltz never was able to throw it. Hernandez doesn't run very well. Now watch this. Now Jeltz, if he can throw this ball right now, he's going to get a double play. But Mitchell went into him hard, and he decided, well, I better not throw it.
So Gary Carter has a chance with the runner at first and 2 down. Carter was out for a month because of an injury. And just rounding back into form, sends a ground ball to the hole. They'll have a play at second, and the inning comes to a close. Carter grounds into a fielder's choice, and that does it for New York. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base. At the end of the half inning, Mets nothing, and the Phillies coming up.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Phillies and Prism is prohibited. Announcers on this broadcast are selected by Prism and approved by the Phillies.
Come on, Sammy. Steal 1. Take your lead. Take your lead. You got him worried now. Yeah. Oh, you're in, baby. You're in. Oh, yeah.
Free sports socks to all children 14 and under September 14th. Watch the drama of baseball. It only happens when you're here.
Back at Veterans Stadium. New York Mets retired in the first inning with just 1 little hopping single to center, and here's the way they'll go on defense. Keith Hernandez at first base. Tim Tuffle is the second baseman. At shortstop, Rafael Santana. And at third base, comeback player of the year, Ray Knight. In left field, Kevin Mitchell. Mookie Wilson in center. Out in right field, Darryl Strawberry. Gary Carter will be the catcher. There he is donning his protection in the dugout. And on the mound, the great right-hander, Dwight Gooden.
Looks like he's not going to be a 20-game winner this year. He only has 5 starts left, so the best he could do is wind up with 19 unless something fluky happens, like working in relief, which he has not done this year. He has not had a great season, but of course he's had a good one. Look at that earned run average, 2.94. Bobby Ojeda is the Mets' top winner with 16, and Sid Fernandez has 15. Here's the Phillies lineup, and no surprises in the lineup tonight as the Phillies will go with the standard array, trying to stave off the New York Mets here tonight. Season series between the Phillies and the Mets. They played 12 times. The Phillies have won 5 and the Mets 7. But the Phillies have taken 2 out of 3 both times the Mets have come to Philadelphia. The
Gary
Phillies
Carter
have not been able to win in New York.
Gary Carter must be having trouble with that equipment in the dugout. There he is. Look at him. He must be having all kinds of problems with his shin guard. Or maybe he's working on his mask right now. Or maybe, oh, he needs a new chest protector. That's what it is. See, they're bringing him another one just in case. The last thing Carter wants to have happen right now is the delay of the game because he knows Gooden wants to get going, and so does he.
Phillies Phillies trying to break a 3-game losing streak tonight, suffered at the hands of the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley. They had a chance to win all 3 of those games, but couldn't pull it off. So the Phillies right now are in a battle to make sure that they hang on and finish in second place in the NL East. They've got the Cardinals only a game behind right now, and the Expos only 1 game behind St. Louis. Phillies trail the Mets by 22. Cards are 23 out and the Expos 24 out. Old Dwight Gooden has faced the Phillies twice this year, has beaten them both times. Both times he went the distance. April 19th, defeating Shane Rawley 3-2, giving up 6 hits and 2 runs. August 11th, he beat Don Carmen 8-4. He gave up 9 hits in that game and 4 runs, but on both occasions he struck out 10. Gary Reedus will lead it off. Gary batting at .254. 53% of Reedus' hits have been for extra bases. 36 of his 71 hits. And the Mets are playing him virtually straight away, and they respect his power.
Not much fancy about Dwight Gooden. Fastball, great overhand curveball, occasional changeup. Rides his fastball.
Gets it over for a strike. You know the Gooden story by now. Cy Young Award winner last year. As a rookie, he won the Rookie of the Year award in '84. He won 17 games that year. Strike 2 called. 1-2 the count to Reedus. All these Mets fans have the habit of cheering whenever there's 2 strikes on a hitter because they love to see the strikeouts. I'm sure somebody somewhere will be putting the K signs up tonight, but not on this at-bat. Here's a roller to Santana, and Reedus is out. Reedus grounds to short, 1 down.
Threw all fastballs and then got him with a curveball.
The hitter now will be Milt Thompson, batting at .250. Milt, left-handed batter, hit a home run in his last game here at Veterans Stadium and hit one at Chicago as well. He has batted .325 since being recalled from Portland. 1 try, it's in the air, it's fouled back out of play. Gooden's last start was Sunday against San Diego. He beat him 7-1. Went the distance in that game on a 4-hitter. The good doctor is still only 21 years of age. His lifetime record against the Phillies, 5-2. Well, he got his curveball over for a called strike. It's 0-2.
Pitch that you have to stay off with, and of course, is that one. The high fastball, which he will ride in the strike zone and try and get the hitters a chaser. And if you don't swing and miss that, he's going to pop it up anyway.
Gooden is not getting the strikeouts that he once did. In his rookie season, he set a major league record by striking out 11.39 per 9 innings. Nobody had ever done that. Fouled away. Pitch was in on his fist. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Thompson. Thompson has batted safely in 11 of the last 14. Phillies and the Mets with a magic number for New York of 2. There's the good fastball, but he was out of the strike zone with it, and we've got a full count on Thompson.
He's throwing his fastball way too high right now. When I say stay off it, normally they're not going to chase it that high. They'll chase it up around the letters normally. Those balls are way out of the strike zone.
Right in on the fists. Pop foul out of play off a fastball. The Phillies and the Chicago Cubs are tied for the NL lead in home runs. Each team has hit 137. The Mets are third with 129. The early season leader in home runs in the National League, the Expos, have fallen way behind. Beautiful stop by Knight. Safe. Thompson with an infield hit.
couldn't get the ball out of his glove after he made that, and Thompson from the left side will beat that play. The fielder has to react immediately or Milt will beat those. He can really run. That's a great play by Knight. Well, watch, he can't get it out right away. He reached for it twice, and that's what cost him.
So an infield hit for Thompson. He's a threat to steal with 13 stolen bases. He's been caught just twice as Von Hayes steps in. Hayes has now been tied for the National League lead in doubles. He held it almost exclusively all year long, but Steve Sachs has also doubled 38 times, so he has to share that one right now. He's second in the league in runs scored with 87, fifth in RBIs with 82, and seventh with his batting average, which, as you saw, is 307. What an outstanding year for Hayes, and he has an outside shot at 100 RBI a year. Thompson goes, pitch out. Carter's throw is way offline. Carter slipped as he made the throw. Stolen base number 14 for Thompson.
Yeah, the Mets smelled the Phillies running in that situation. Now watch Carter lose his footing there. His front foot went. A lot of times you'll see a back foot go when a guy slips. His front foot went right out from under him, so Milt steals it easily. Santana made a pretty good play here. He made sure he went and got the ball and didn't let it go into the outfield. Good percentage for Thompson.
I'll say. And so the Phillies have a runner in scoring position with one out. 1-0 the count on Hayes. Curveball for a strike, 1-1. Hayes against Gooden this year, 3 hits and 8 at-bats. White hails from Tampa, Florida. Floyd Yeomans of the Expos was a teammate of his in Tampa. Pretty close, 2 balls and a strike.
Rookie Wilson's playing very shallow in center field, slightly towards left center. He can really go back on the ball, and he's trying to give himself a chance to throw out the runner at second. See how shallow he is in center field? Strawberry playing just about right in right field.
Check swing foul. That makes it 2-2 on Vaughn.
Really like to see your center fielder play that way if he's capable of doing it. Gary Maddox played that way a long time. We look at Hayes' career against Dwight Gooden. And you can cut off that ball over the infield, and you have enough confidence to go back and get the long ball.
And here we go again with 2 strikes on the hitter. The Mets fans are cheering for a strikeout. And we do have a lot of New Yorkers here tonight. Pitching matchup for tomorrow night. Mike Maddox for the Phillies against 16-game winner Bobby Ojeda. And Sunday afternoon, Kevin Gross faces 15-game winner Sid Fernandez.
Boy, he could pitch, this guy. He just really came in on Hayes on his hands and said, here, hit this. And Vaughn, who has been such a good hitter and is such a hot hitter, fought it off.
21-year-old Dwight Gooden getting his chance to pitch the Mets to a division title.
What is wrong over here? I don't know whether somebody has a light on in the stands, but Dave Pallone keeps walking over. You get all these TV crews here tonight, so it's possible that they're doing those crowd shots and there's a light on somewhere.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is, all right. Got to try to do them between innings, huh? Two balls and 2 strikes on Hayes. And Vaughn gets a piece of another one, fouls it away. He's hanging in there against Dwight Gooden. Gooden is making his 29th start tonight. Gooden has 10 complete games. 2 shutouts. Here's a ball ripped to center field over Mookie's head. Extra bases for Hayes. Thompson scores easily. Hayes reclaims the lead and doubles, and the Phillies lead 1-0. Guess he was playing too shallow, huh?
Well, he misjudged the ball, too. You know, I was trying to figure out why he was running in on that ball because it was smoked off the bat. Watch if you see Mookie Wilson come. See him break in. Now, this ball is really nailed, so he just totally misjudged that ball by 30 feet over his head. Not even close.
So Vaughn is back in the league lead in doubles with 39. That is also his 83rd run batted in, a career high. And the batter now is Mike Schmidt.
And this guy's doing his stand-up piece in the stands again, and they got that light on again.
That's supposed to be done between innings. I wish we'd be able to get through to him. So the Phillies have taken the lead, 1-0 over New York.
That was an outstanding at-bat by Von Hayes, who's just a very, very hot hitter right now. He battled Gooden, battled him, fought off some tough pitches, and got the ball he could handle and ripped it for that double.
By the way, that's Hayes' 12th run batted in against the Mets. He leads all the Phillies. Pickoff try at second. Vaughn is back. It was close.
See where Tuffle's playing out there. He's got an overshift on Schmidt, playing near second base, so it's very easy for Tuffle to go in on that kind of play. See his feet right there? There he is. So Hayes has to be alert to him sneaking in again.
Very high into the air. It'll be caught by Mookie, though. There's the catch. Hayes fakes going to third. Earlier in the year, he might have actually tried it because Mookie had a bad shoulder from spring training on. So Schmidt is out number 2.
Yeah, he didn't get his arms out on that one, Andy. Dwight Gooden made a good pitch in on him.
Glenn Wilson, the batter, hitting at 260. Glenn with 14 homers, 72 runs batted in. 1-0 Phillies. Were in the first. And Willie's been coming on in that RBI column. Gooden's pitch is fouled away. Wilson has had great success against White this year. He's a .500 hitter, 4 hits and 8 tries. Gooden has beaten the Phillies 5 straight decisions. 2 this year, 3 last year. The Phillies have not beaten Dwight since his rookie year, '84. On Bullitt, but foul down the right side. 0-2 on Wilson. What a great night for baseball here at the Vet as the Phillies come back to work. They'll be here for a week, and then next weekend at this time they'll be visiting Shea in New York. 0-2 pitch. Pop foul. It'll be out of play. Still 0-2 on Wilson with Hayes at second base and 2 out. Vaughn running will have to go back. The Mets have won 11 of their last 15. They're coming off an 8-4 homestand, but they did have trouble at the end of that homestand with the Expos, who took 2 out of 3 from them. From the day he arrived in the major leagues, Gooden has had a lot of poise. He's a lot like Ruffin in that category. He never did seem like he was a rookie. Did Willie chase it? I'm afraid he did. Wilson strikes out. Gooden gets his first K, and the inning is over, but the Phillies take the lead. 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 man left on base at the end of 1-0 Phillies.
To America's best as they look to Australia and the America's Cup Challenge.
Could you look at my car? I think it needs a tune-up. It's just a... and maybe an oil change, sir? How much?
Hey, lady, I'm working here. Call me tomorrow.
But I'm...
Sorry.
You'll never hear sorry at Sparks, because our customers are as important as our tune-ups, and our prices stay as promised. Sparks Tune-Up. We service cars. We care about people.
Doing a little manicuring on the batter's box here at Veterans Stadium.
Well, that's that area, Andy, where Carter slipped on the pitch out. You see Mark Carfagno, better known as Froggy, working on it. Something must have been loose, some loose dirt in there. Now they're going to tamp it down a little bit. We saw where Carter went out on that pitch out and went right on his keister, throwing that ball to second.
Baseline coaches for the Mets, Buddy Harrelson and Bill Robinson, both at one time wore a Phillies uniform. And the Phillies lead it 1-0 as we go to the second inning, and Darryl Strawberry will lead it off. Can you believe Strawberry went a month without a hit at home? He went 0 for August at Shea Stadium. That's amazing.
0 for 45 and 4 for his last 60 at Shea Stadium, where they've been booing him unmercifully, and that's probably one of the reasons why he's struggling there.
Overall, he's having a fair year, not a great year, which the Mets had hoped he would have. But, of course, they've gone on to have a great year as a team.
Strawberry was quoted saying he couldn't wait to get out of New York and come down here and play. That's a shame when a guy doesn't like to play at home. We've seen it happen here over the years.
Phillies have done a good job on Strawberry. His batting average against Philadelphia pitching is .213. 2-0 to him. Strawberry, Knight, and Tuffle in the New York second. The Mets have the finest road record in the National League. They've won 46 and lost 22 on the road. Foul, 2-1. Strawberry went 0 for 3 in that game against Ruffin on August 13th. In that game, Bruce went 8 innings, gave up 6 hits and 2 runs, and was the winning pitcher as he defeated Bob Ojeda. A bouncer foul, and it's a 2-2 count on Strawberry. Strawberry 7th in the league in runs batted in. Can't beat those front row seats for getting the foul ball. A ball topped toward first base. Hayes races and beats Strawberry. There's one down in the second inning as Strawberry grounds to Hayes.
Strawberry really ran that ball out, too. There's been some talk that Darryl Strawberry doesn't run balls out. Well, that time he really hustled down the line. Almost beat Hayes to the bag.
Ray Knight, the hitter, batting at .292. You already called him the comeback player of the year, and honestly, he should be.
Cut and dry. Guy, anybody could have had him for nothing. And the Mets couldn't get rid of him.
And actually, you can say that early into this year.
Oh, he's been outstanding. He started right out hitting home runs against the Phillies early in the year. And Ray Knight has played third base very well. He's just had a tremendous season. He's a very, very unsung hero in this club.
Here's a flare into right field, and it gets past Wilson. Over to back it up is Thompson. Knight's going to second. Here's the throw. He's into second base. A double for Ray Knight.
Glenn Wilson trying to make a diving catch on this play. Ruffin gets the sinker ball up out over the plate a little bit. And Wilson comes on here. He can't get it, and he blocks it. It hits his leg, it looked like. Jumped right over to Milt Thompson, who did a good job backing it up.
21 doubles for Ray Knight, as you can see, and Tim Tuffle is coming to the plate.
Tuffle was batting up higher in the order the last time we saw New York, but they moved Mitchell up to number 2 tonight. Tuffle had been hitting up there.
Tuffle hit a grand slam against the Phillies earlier this year, but he hasn't had many hits against Philadelphia pitching. His average is 171 against the Phillies.
Well, this just shows you, you get all the fans call up and get mad all the time when teams platoon. Look what the Mets are doing. They've got Backman and Dykstra out of this game tonight. They use everybody, and they use them well, and that's how you're a quality team, by using a lot of players. Davey Johnson hardly ever plays the same lineup day after day, and so what? That's one of those things that fans, I think, get in their mind. You're supposed to play the same people all the time, and if you don't, you're a weak team. In my opinion, just the opposite. You're a better team if you play a lot of different people and they can contribute.
Hayes has it. It was smoke to him. Vaughn makes the play, and over to third base goes Knight. Tuffle grounds to Hayes for out number 2. And Rafael Santana, who doesn't have much of a batting average, but who has come on as a hitter lately, will have a shot with 2 out and a runner at third.
Well, Davy Johnson early in the year was playing all kinds of people at shortstop. Johnson and as we look at Davy Johnson and Mel Stottlemyre, they played Mitchell there. Santana has to play there for them to be a quality team. Even though he's not going to hit that much, you have to have a good defensive player at shortstop. Last couple months, he's played almost all the time there.
Recently, he punctured an eardrum with a Q-tip and couldn't play for a while.
Well, when you go into a league championship series, you better throw your best defensive team out there. And they've been going along with Santana quite a bit lately. And as you say, he's picked up his offense enough to contribute.
Over the last 39 games, he has nearly been a 300 hitter. Ruffin falls behind him 2-0.
It's up a little bit in this inning, too, and has almost gotten hurt. Knight hit a ball up, and Tuffle hit that ball hard to Hayes.
Here's a bouncer. Jeltz has it. Santana is out, and so are the Mets. In New York, second, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left at the end of an inning and a half. Phillies are ahead 1-0.
Hi, I'm Shane Raleigh of the Phillies. Like you, I'm concerned about money, how to take advantage of the new tax laws, how to make my money grow, and how to keep it safe while growing. I found the answer to building wealth with safety in an E.F. Hutton tax investment plan called TIP. And so can you. A one-time $400 fee provides you with a 25 to 30-page personal financial management plan, and it's deductible. For more information, call E.F. Hutton now, 1-800-331-1000, and let them prove it.
Prism and the Phillies want to invite you to join us on our second annual Fabulous Caribbean Cruise. We're heading for the balmy seas starting January 17th, 1987. Caracas, Grenada, Barbados are just some of our ports of call. Many of your favorite Phillies ball players will be on board. To help make this the most memorable way, secure those winter blocks. Let the fabulous Kennard Countess be your 7-day home away from home. For complete details, call Whiteland West Travel of Exton, PA. The Kennard Countess is a ship of British registry.
And operators are standing by right now for your call to go on that Caribbean cruise. Call 215-296-9366. That's Whiteland West Travel at 215-296-9366. Operators standing by for your call to cruise the Caribbean with the Phillies.
Jim Davenport, Phillies third base coach. Del Unser at first for John Felsky. John Felsky was telling me that on the day off yesterday, he went down to Medio de Marcos to do some fishing, and it was so windy he liked to get blown off the lake. He said you could see whitecaps on that lake.
So I was playing golf yesterday, and there were some holes that were wonderful when that wind was behind you, and then others that weren't so wonderful. I'd like to thank my good buddy Ed Pappas out in Westchester for a day at Rolling Green Country Club. I know Ed watches all our games on Prism. Really enjoyed it.
Juan Samuel leads off for the Phillies, who have a 1-0 lead. Sammy hitting at .259. High fly to shallow left field. Late start by Mitchell, but he comes on now. That ball was hit so high into the area, had time to recover and make the catch. Samuel out on a shallow fly as Dr. K gets the first out of the second. Gooden with 1 strikeout so far got Glenn Wilson to end the first inning.
Send belated birthday wishes tonight to Jan Marie Mansfield from Dutch and the Gang.
Here's the ex-New York catcher Ron Reynolds facing his old teammates tonight. Strike to Reynolds. He'll be followed by Jeltz. Bill Thompson got an infield single, stole a base, and Hayes doubled him home for the only run of this game. Broken bat, looper, shallow left. It's falling quickly. It's in for a hit. Reynolds breaks his bat, but gets a single to left field.
Mitchell is playing very deep in left field, and he broke late on that first ball, as Andy described Sam Wells, but it was high enough that he could get in there. On that ball, broken bat, he's not going to get there in time. Good, Dwight Gooden fastball really jammed Reynolds. But there you see Mitchell not able to get there in time, made sure it didn't take a turf hop over his head.
Reynolds no threat to run. Here is Steve Jeltz batting at .221. Jeltz among or near the league leaders in walks. He has 61 bases on balls. Jeltz takes high ball one. Pitcher Bruce Ruffin waiting on deck. Jeltz an important player in a game where Ruffin pitches. He'll get a lot of work as a defensive man. Takes a strike. This crowd is here for a party, by the way. They were here early tonight. They brought their noisemakers, their horns and whatnot, and they're here to celebrate the Mets' victory if they can pull it off tonight.
The Phillies would like to delay their party. Keep them here for the weekend.
Liner down the left field line, but foul.
Tourism Bureau in the city would love that. Pump a little revenue into the city's coffers. Keep all these New York people around here through Sunday.
So Jeltz is strikeout victim number 2 for Dr. K. Here it is.
Oh, this is a fastball. Oh, he sunk that ball a little bit, it looked like. I guess he's learned to do that over the year. When he first came up, he used to ride everything. Now he sinks a fastball once in a while.
And Bruce Ruffin, a left-handed pitcher, but a right-handed batter. Got to be an experience for a kid like Ruffin to face a kid like Gooden.
One thing about Bruce Ruffin, this is a electric type of night here, and I'll guarantee you he's not fazed by it. He's amazingly mature.
Nothing and 2 on Bruce. Phillies ahead 1-0. Well, he got a hunk of that one and fouls it off down the right field line. Hit it pretty far. Still 0-2 on Ruffin. Phillies and the Mets with 6 games remaining with each other. Strikeout, his 3rd strikeout of the game, gets him on a breaking ball. So for the Phillies in the second, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base. So we finished 2 innings, and the Phillies are on top 1-0.
In the minors, you must have called it all 1,000 times, but you never lost sight of the dream.
Got a telegram for you, Tony.
Okay, thanks, Pop.
Hi, B. Hey, guess what? I got your call. Yeah? I'm in the meeting.
You got a shot, you take it.
What's this, rookie umpire?
You got the heart to make it. You got the fire, that big league desire. You keep on reaching higher. You make America work and
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers.
Hi. Compliments from the gentleman over there.
And back at Veterans Stadium, Chris Wheeler along with Andy Musser. Prism Baseball 1-3-0 for the Phillies, 0-2-0 for the New York Mets. And the Mets win tonight. It's clinch night. Yes, we are live from Veterans Stadium, and a happy birthday tonight to George Brody. 84 years of age, and that comes from Anita Brody Lipstein from Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Happy birthday, George. Many, many, many New York Mets fans in attendance tonight. There's a couple of them hoping to see their heroes bring home their first championship since 1973, which they will do eventually, and the Phillies trying to prevent it. Here's Gooden. Dwight not having a real good year with a bat. Has just one extra base hit, one triple. Strike called. Ruffin has not walked a batter. He's not struck out a batter. Gooden came into this year as a .215 lifetime hitter with a home run and 12 RBIs. But this year his offense off a little bit. And Bruce Ruffin trying to get him out. No balls and 2 strikes. Outside with a fastball. It'll be Dwight Gooden on the top of the order. Mookie Wilson and Kevin Mitchell. There you see what his career average is now as it's dropped off with a subpar season with a bat. Outside with a sinker, and it's 2-2 on Dwight Gooden, a great athlete. Mookie Wilson on deck. Switch hitter. Gooden fouls it off. Two balls and 2 strikes on Gooden, and he hits a ground ball. Hayes is in no man's land. I don't know. Oh, my goodness gracious. That looked like he beat that play. Von Hayes got caught way, way out in no man's land and then had to come back, and Somwell had to delay his throw. See, Sammy can't throw it right away. Hayes is retreating, just gets there, can't tell there, but it sure looked like he beat him originally. Bill Robinson didn't think so. Let's try. See, look at Hayes. I mean, he's retreating to the very second the ball gets there. He's safe. And Bill Robinson has an argument there. Score at 4-3, and Gooden is gone, 1 out. Was first base umpire Tom Hallion with that call. Wilson the batter. Mookie grounded out to Jeltz his first time up. Swing and a miss, and a late swing at a sinker. Mookie Wilson, who started the season on the disabled list, shoulder problems, got hit in the eye with a ball in spring training. Was wearing glasses at the time, not wearing them anymore. Batting .302 left-handed, .299 from the right side. To Somwell on a couple of hops, and Sammy throws out Mookie Wilson, 2 up and 2 down. Well, Bruce Ruffin doing what he does best, and that's throw the ground ball. There you see the Mets in their 25th year. Interesting that they came into the league the same year as the Houston Astros, and they'll probably oppose them in the League Championship Series this year. Here's Mitchell, the batter, grounded a single up the middle. Fouls off a breaking ball over the Mets dugout, back into play. Bruce Ruffin, 2 out, nobody on base, 1-0 Phillies, 3rd inning. One ball, 1 strike on Mitchell. High 2-1 on deck. Keith Hernandez. Philly fanatic cavorting through the stands right behind home plate as we look at Hernandez. And there's a little ground ball to Jeltz. He's got to charge it, come up throwing, he got him. Good inning for Ruffin. 3 ground ball outs, no runs, no hits, no errors by the Phillies, and nobody left on base. Through 2.5 at the vet. It's 1-0 Phils.
When people tell you that your jobs are being taken away by foreign imports, perhaps if it's the automobile industry, it kind of passes over us. But when it hits you in your pocketbook, that's when it starts to hurt. And if we don't have someone like Arlen Specter, we've got a very big problem.
Senator Specter is working hard at trying to save the jobs of the local people here in Lehigh Valley and in Pennsylvania.
Sending Arlen Specter back to Washington could very well mean the difference between us working and not working.
Give me a light. Bud Light. Oh, the chili.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get. Give me a light. Bud Light. So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light. No, Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
And there's a Philly fanatic out there in the stands, right behind home plate in the scout section. A lot of people, of course, here watching the New York Mets play tonight. Mickey Vernon right there always tunes into our radio broadcast. Good guy. Makes his home down in Delaware County still. His wife's a big Prism watcher. Sure she's watching tonight. And there are the standings, and to say the Mets are in good shape is an understatement. They need one more game from the Phillies, and it's over. What a year they've had. Houston Astros showing signs now of pulling away in that American League West and could oppose the Mets in the League Championship Series. It would be a good one. Boston has been hot. They won 11 in a row. Dropped one and now are 9 ahead of Toronto. They look like they're in good shape. And the California Angels also appear to be in good shape. Very unusual season in baseball that we're here on September 12th and do not appear to have any races left. Here's Reedus, the batter. Gary grounded out to shortstop Rafael Santana his first time. It'll be Reedus, Thompson, and Hayes. Facing Dwight Gooden. Gooden, no walks. He's punched out 3. Curveball misses 1-0. And Gooden misses away with a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes on Gary Reedus. Dwight Gooden coming into the game tonight had 10 complete games, 14 wins, and 164 strikeouts. Outside, 3-0. Mike Scott leading with 260. So Gooden, who's been a strikeout king his first couple years, almost 100 strikeouts behind the league leader right now. And he gets it over to Reedus. 3 balls and 1 strike on Gary. Phillies trying to get Reedus on, a base-stealing threat. And Gooden battles back. The count full at 3-2. Gary Reedus batting at .253, has 10 home runs. He's knocked in 28 runs, stolen 23 bases. Out quite a bit early in the season with the elbow surgery. Oh, boy, Dave Pallone started up with the arm and then put it back down, and Gooden wanted that. You see his expression. He thought that pitch was there. So that'll be a walk. I'll watch Dave Pallone, the home plate umpire, start up with his arm. Whoop. And now he's going to stay down with it. And you see Gooden's reaction. He thought he had a strikeout. So Gary Reedus, the runner on at first base. Reedus has stolen 23 bases in 30 attempts. And Thompson got himself an infield single first time up. Stole a base, scored a run. Thompson with the count 1-0, taking a look at Davenport. Gooden not a real good pitcher to hit and run on because he rides the ball so much. Rather hit and run on guys around the strike zone to keep the ball down as opposed to this guy. Gooden a long look and a quick move. Gooden's really improved his move to first. When he first came up, teams could really run on him. No more. And another quick move over there, and Rita's back in time. 1 ball, no strikes to Milt Thompson. 1-0 Phillies on a Von Hayes RBI double in the first inning. A ball misjudged by Mookie Wilson in center. Rita doesn't go, and Thompson hits it hard. It's a double play ball. Well, Milt Thompson hit the ball right on the nose, but into a double play from Santana to Tuffle to Keith Hernandez. So 2 out and nobody on base. And Hayes will be the batter. Vaughn smoked that double to left center his first time up. His 39th double of the year, putting back in the league lead by 1 over Steve Sachs of the Dodgers. RBI for him, number 83, is career high. That ball's hit hard to center. Wilson can't get it, and it kicks away from him. Hayes will get at least a third. Let's see what happens. Oh, he bobbles it out in center field, and Hayes will be held at third. That'll be a single and an error on Mookie Wilson. Hits another ball hard to center field. Mookie Wilson having trouble with the balls he's hitting tonight. It jumped up on him, and he let it get away from him all the way to the wall. A single and a 2-base error. So that double play, a big play, as the Phillies would have had another run. They have Hayes at third with 2 out. And Mike Schmidt the batter. Schmidt flied out to center his first time up. Von Hayes showing the New York fans why he's having such an outstanding season. And look at Mike Schmidt. Look who's next on that all-time home run list, the great Lou Gehrig. Now out Eddie Matthews. He is really in some rare air now. Right at Ray Knight, a bullet, knocks it down, gets up, throws, safe at first. Phillies lead it 2-0. Boy, he hits the heck out of this ball. A bullet right at Ray Knight. And that hurt him, too. That's one of the reasons he didn't get up real fast. Now he throws over there. Close play. Hernandez with a good stretch. Safe, says Hallion. That will be an error on Ray Knight, so no RBI for Mike Schmidt. And Glenn Wilson, the batter, as the Phillies have picked up a run here and lead it 2-0. Second error of the inning for the New York Mets. Breaking ball, misses high. Boy, this is fun here tonight. Great atmosphere at the Vet. Fouled out of play behind home plate. And the count at 1 ball and 1 strike on Glenn Wilson at 260. There you see the totals. The chopper. Knight is going to have to charge, and he boots it. That'll be probably another error. Well, the Mets are not catching the ball this inning. That's an E5 on Ray Knight. Back-to-back errors for the third baseman of the New York Mets. They've been on this AstroTurf for a while, and sometimes it can fool you. High fastball, Willie tops it, and he just boots it right off the heel of his glove and then kicks it all the way over to Keith Hernandez. The Mets will be playing on AstroTurf when they play the Houston Astros, obviously. And here's Sammy. Juan Samuel, the batter, flied out to left his first time up. 2 on and 2 out, a run in. It's 2-0 Phillies. We're in the third. Inside with a fastball. Samuel's hit 15 home runs. He's knocked in 69. One on Juan Samuel. Phillies with 2 runners on base. Mike Schmidt at second, Glenn Wilson at first. 2 out. There they go. Samuel hits it deep to center field. Wilson, a long run, makes the play. Good play by Mookie Wilson as Juan Samuel nails it to deep center field. For the Phillies, they pick up 1 run. It'll be unearned. It was 1 hit. There were 3 New York Met errors. 2 men left on base. We're through 3 innings at the Vet, and the Phils lead it 2-0. Now we'll head over to Prism Sports, where Larry Rosen has a little talk with a new Philly, Marvin Freeman.
All right, thank you, Chris. Tonight, the Phillies named Marvin Freeman their minor league pitcher of the year. The newest Philly won himself 16 games at Reading, helped the Double-A club to a regular season title. He says he turned his season around with an inspirational boot from a couple of buddies.
In the beginning, I started off slow, and then I started seeing some of my friends progress very quickly, Ruffin and Mike Jackson, and that kind of inspired me, and I kind of woke up in mid-season, and I got hot, and luckily the team got hot too, and they scored some runs for me, and I kept us in a few ball games, and I got a few wins, and that's why I think I turned it around, probably after Jackson and Ruffin were called up. Everything's been like a dream this year, and my wife's having this baby, and that'll just top everything off. So I'm looking forward to trying to make a good impression here, and hopefully I can win a few ball games and just let things take care of themselves.
Now, Marvin is 6'7" tall. He was taking some batting cage heat for his lack of hitting power. By the way, his wife is due with their first baby in any moment back in Chicago, so best of luck to the growing Freeman family. Fourth inning baseball now with Chris and Andy.
Phillies have doubled their lead. They're ahead 2-0 as we go to the 4th inning, and Starvin Marvin Freeman has joined the Phillies from Reading, and there's a possibility he'll be pitching here on Tuesday night.
Yeah. Be nice to see Marvin Freeman pitch. He made great progress, as he just talked to Larry Rosen about this year at Reading. To get some idea on him, whether he might be ready to pitch here next year or need some time at AAA, but he's a definite big league prospect.
Keith Hernandez hit one back to the mound in his first at-bat into a fielder's choice. 2-0 Phillies as we move to the 4th. Hernandez, Carter, and Strawberry to face Bruce Ruffin. And Ruffin has been getting his quota of ground balls tonight. 56% of his outs are ground outs.
Phillies could have had a big inning last inning. The Mets really had a lot of problems catching the ball, and they had a double play in there also.
Yeah, Phillies had 5 outs in the inning, huh?
Yeah,
6 really, in a way.
Yeah, they only got the 1 run out of it. But Juan Samuel really nailed that ball to dead right center, and Mookie Wilson made a fine running catch.
Hernandez fouls one back to the Phillies dugout.
I think Mookie Wilson's trying to figure out what's happening to those baseballs that Von Hayes hits at him.
Three balls and a strike on Hernandez. He is the league leader in walks. Hernandez has walked 83 times. Strike, full count. Hernandez was not in the lineup the first time the Phillies and the Mets played with Ruffin on the hill. Hernandez has the second top on-base percentage in the league, .410. There's a bouncer. Samuel's got it, and he gets him. Hernandez grounds out on a ball hit behind the bag.
Well, Samuel was playing him up the middle and was there. And one thing about Ruffin is he takes the sting out of the bat on ground balls, too. This is just a little top ground ball up the middle, and it's not going very fast. And Sammy was over that way, and Hernandez, not a fast runner, he was able to throw him out. That's one of the advantages that you have when you're a Bruce Ruffin. And not only can you throw ground balls, but you throw ground balls that they don't hit that hard.
Gary Carter grounded into a fielder's choice, hitting one to shortstop. You look at Carter's numbers and you wonder, really, could he be MVP? I mean, he's hitting .242 at this point.
Sure he could.
21 homers, 94 RBIs.
Not saying he should be, but you bet he could. You know, you still got 3 weeks to go, too. A lot can happen. The Mets have had a lot of MVPs this year.
Deep to center, Thompson racing back. Makes the play halfway back on the warning track. Carter flies deep to Thompson for the second out.
Ruffin got that ball up a little bit, but, you know, if you can keep it out away from those right-handed batters like Carter, maybe the park can hold you. And that's what happened on that play.
Now Darryl Strawberry. He grounded out to Hayes. Fouls one, strike one on Strawberry. So far, the Mets have 2 hits, single in the first by Mitchell, double in the second by Knight. And the Phillies lead it 2-0.
Ruffin not throwing his breaking ball the way he wants to tonight, and he has to have an occasional good slider mixed in there to make that sinker even more effective. He's missing with it.
Strawberry swings and misses at a fastball, 2-2. Strawberry hurt that thumb again this year that he injured against the Phillies last year and was out for a time. Basically, though, the Mets have had a fairly injury-free season. Full count now to Strawberry.
Yeah, Carter went out for a while. What, they win 9 in a row or something?
Yeah, they sure didn't seem to miss him too much. Ed Hearn filled in behind the plate and did a nice job. 3-2 pitch. Foul ball.
It's probably one of those blessing in disguise type things. It wasn't a serious injury for Carter, but it was enough to put him on the disabled list for a couple of weeks. And that's a rest he would not have if he were available to play, because Davy Johnson's going to want to put him in the lineup. So he sat out a couple of weeks, and all they did was pad their lead.
Ruffin gets Strawberry, and he got him with a slider. Ruffin picks up his first strikeout, puts the Mets down in turn for the second inning in a row. At the end of 3.5, it's 2-0 Phillies.
If I thought that no one cared about the things I do in life, well, I still care about working hard and making it turn out right. Made in America, that means a lot to me. Oh, I believe in America and American quality. Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
At Anheuser-Busch, it's the same personal commitment to quality that has kept our family's beers the finest in the world for over 100 years.
Here's to you, America.
I'm Shane Raleigh of the Phillies. Like you, I'm concerned about money, how to take advantage of the new tax laws, how to make my money grow, and how to keep it safe while growing. I found the answer to building wealth with safety in an E.F. Hutton tax investment plan called TIP. And so can you. A one-time $400 fee provides you with a 25 to 30-page personal financial management plan, and it's deductible. For more information, call E.F. Hutton now, 1-800-331-1000, and let them prove it.
The way this thing is unfolding so far, the Phillies have been able to keep these Mets fans kind of quiet, jumping out in front, getting the first run, and then doubling the lead. And here we go to the bottom of the fourth. The bottom third of the batting order for the Phillies, Reynolds, Jeltz, and Ruffin to face Dr. K. Reynolds got himself a broken bat single in the left field off a Gooden fastball his first time up. One of 4 Phillies hits. Last inning, the Mets defense unraveled, and the Phillies picked up an unearned run as the Mets committed 3 errors. Reynolds hitting at .219. Certainly knows everything there is to know about Gooden. He caught him last year. Gooden tonight in search of his 15th victory. Gooden expected to get 4 more starts after tonight.
Well, intentionally or not, he's not the strikeout pitcher that he was when he first came up. He doesn't throw that rider as well as he does, I don't think. You know, the hitters don't chase it as much up in the strike zone. But, you know, he's learned to move the ball around. And he still can throw the ball with anybody as far as velocity. There are some schools that thought that he's doing it on purpose, that he's not striking out as many batters, or that the league's caught up with him a little bit. But the bottom line is the guy's going to win a lot of games in this league every year he's out there because he's outstanding. Doesn't matter what he does.
And he might be conserving himself as he misses with a curveball a little bit more this way. It could be that he'll add years to his career this way.
Well, that's what some people think about him.
I mean, if he'd have pitched every year the way he did last year, he could have burned out.
Well, that's what's so unbelievable about Nolan Ryan. You see the way he's thrown for all these years and all those pitches.
Curveball got him looking. Boy, when you can get that pitch over, you're going to give a lot of people a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah, this is just a great breaking ball from Dwight Gooden. This guy can really pitch. Look where he starts that thing. See, Reynolds' reaction is to freeze. And when you freeze like that as a hitter, all you can do is hope it's a ball.
Strikeout number 4 for Gooden. Here is Jeltz. He was one of the victims. Can't believe it, but nobody's hanging K signs here at the vet tonight. I thought usually when he come down here, somebody is.
Well, maybe they couldn't buy a front row seat. The ones that have the Ks. They've always been here before, though.
Yeah.
There's the high fastball. That's the one that, if hitters chase that high fastball from Dwight Gooden, they have no chance.
Right, but that one's a little too high, right?
Right, and that's my point. What he's been doing tonight is he's not throwing the letter high one. He's up around the shoulders with it, so they're not chasing it as much.
2 balls and a strike on Jeltz. Big crowd here at the vet. I think a lot of the Phillies fans were a late arriving group this evening. They didn't want to get involved in the pregame ceremonies, and also probably it was jammed around the ballpark tonight. I know I had a heck of a time getting here, and I left about 3.5 hours before the game. Jeltz sends one to the gap in left center. Over the head of Mitchell. Extra bases for Jeltz. He has a 2-base hit.
Well, that ball froze Mitchell, the left fielder. He didn't react immediately. He didn't think it was going that far. And by the time he reacted, it was too late. You see the circle route he's taking. He took it sideways for about his first 5 steps and then retreated back and then had no chance. He thought he had that ball. He thought he had an angle on it for a while and then saw it was way over his head.
Jeltz at second with a 2-base hit. There's one out. Here is Ruffin, a strikeout victim first time around. Ruffin has 3 hits this year, including a double. He's knocked in 2 runs. He could really help himself if he can get a hold of one here.
I see Gooden throwing the ball down in the strike zone more than we've ever seen him before. Whether or not he's trying to do that, we don't see him enough. I think the worst thing that Dwight Gooden could do to himself is try and turn himself into a sinker baller. Because this guy is a natural high fastball pitcher who can get away with it and ride it. And with a great curveball, he throws 2 balls on 2 different planes, and he should not get into trying to sink fastballs too much, I don't think. Whether or not he's trying to do it or not, like I said, we don't see him enough. That's him right there.
That's the high rider, yeah. So that's strikeout number 5 for Gooden. 2 outs in the inning, and Gary Reedus will get a shot here. Gary has grounded to short and walked. Phillies ahead 2-1, 4th inning baseball from the vet. Phils and Mets go at it again tomorrow night, and our game time tomorrow is 7:05. We will not be on Prism tomorrow night. Our next Prism game will be Wednesday night, St. Louis Cardinals. The Runnin' Redbirds will be here. Did you see where Vince Coleman says he's going to go to winter ball this year and learn a new stroke? Going to try to hit more ground balls.
Well, there's Jeltz on at second. Well, with his legs, that's the way he's going to make a living. He doesn't hit. He's not hitting for much of an average this year, and it's amazing how many stolen bases he has. 93 of them.
No balls and 2 strikes, the count on Reedus.
Way ahead in stolen bases. Eric Davis second was 68, and we saw him get his 100th steal here last year.
Boy, these Met fans, whenever Gooden gets 2 strikes, they rise to the occasion. He has 5 strikeouts tonight.
His approach to Gary Reedus is the Dwight Gooden that we're used to seeing. He's throwing those letter-high fastballs, and he's chasing them and fouling them off. You can't do much with them as a hitter. You're going to foul them off, or you're going to swing through them. Carter wants to talk it over with Gooden.
Phillies got a run on the first, picked up an unearned run last inning. Got a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. 0-2 pitch. Down the right field line, long run. And out of play. Reedus pops a foul out of reach down the right field line. You saw 3 fielders there, Tuffle, Strawberry, and Hernandez. And there's the baseball. All right. Still 0-2 on Reedus. There's the good fastball, but he was in with it 1-2.
See the gun on that one. He really humped that pitch.
You know, the Mets lead the National League in on-base percentage, .340, but the Phillies are second in the league in on-base percentage, right behind at .325. In the air to center. Wilson to his left. He's got room, and Wilson pulls it in for the final out. So for the Phillies in the 4th, no runs, 1 hit. The Jeltz double, 1 man left on base at the end of 4, 2-0 Phillies.
And on the Major League scoreboard tonight, you see the Pirates leading the Cubs 4-3. Dennis Eckersley against Bob Kipper. Sean Dunston, a 3-run home run for the Cubs, is 16th. Jim Morrison, a solo shot, number 19 for the Buccos. Montreal at St. Louis will be Floyd Yeomans against Bob Porsche. Houston at San Diego, Cincinnati, Los Angeles, Atlanta, San Francisco, all later on tonight. In the American League, the Yankees over Boston 2-0. Hurst against Nielsen. Bill Buckner with a homer. A 2-run shot, number 16 for Billy Buck. Baltimore and Detroit, 3-2. Detroit over Baltimore. That game after 3.5 innings at Detroit. Scott McGregor against Dan Petrie, no home runs. Cleveland 4, Oakland 1 after 3.5 at Cleveland. Kruger and Swindell pitching that game. Jose Canseco has hit number 31 for the Oakland A's, a solo shot in the first inning. Chicago 2, California nothing. That game after 2 innings at Chicago. Don Sutton against Floyd Bannister. Toronto, Milwaukee, Seattle, Kansas City, Texas, Minnesota just about to get underway. That's the Major League scoreboard up to date.
Okay, Chris, and here at Veterans Stadium, we've completed 4 innings, and the Phillies are leading the Mets 2-0. They've out-hit New York 5-2. So at this moment, Bruce Ruffin has outpitched the good doctor, even though Gooden has 5 strikeouts and Ruffin has 1. Second base umpire Bob Engel went to the dugout. He's just resuming his position, and we'll begin here with Ray Knight.
Cowboy Bob.
Well, here's Knight. He has doubled, but he's also committed 2 errors. Mets fans trying to get the chant going. Let's go, Mets. Phillies ahead 2-0. Bruce Ruffin seems like a veteran, doesn't it? He's been around half the year, called up in late June. It seems like he's been here this whole time.
About 1.5 years as a professional.
No AAA experience whatsoever. Never trained with the Phillies. Spring training. Boy, the photographer's deck is jammed tonight. A lot of media coverage in this game. They had to put an extra row in the press box up here, too. A little bit low, 2-1.
That's like a playoff game tonight.
You know, a mathematical quirk to the way things worked out this year is that the Mets cannot clinch a tie before they clinch the Eastern title because they happen to be playing the Phillies here. It could still happen if the Phillies would win all 3 games in this series. Then that could happen when they go to St. Louis. But right now, they either clinch the thing or they don't. I mean, at this moment, if the Phillies win every remaining game and the Mets lost every remaining game, the Phils win. Schmitty makes the play, and Knight is out. So another ground ball out for Bruce Ruffin. That's
Mets,
1 out on the 5th.
The Mets are in a situation that they couldn't have planned any better. And that's to be able to beat the team behind you, to win the thing and get it over with, and to win it close enough that you're not at home, but you can let a lot of your fans come down and watch it. And the Phillies want to delay it.
Tim Tuffle will be the batter. He is 0 for 1, grounded out to first base. Hard ground ball through the middle and a base hit. Nice try by Samuel, but Tuffle grounded it just beyond him, and he's got a hit. That's only the 3rd New York hit.
Ruffin makes you a little nervous because he puts that hand down. I hope it's just a reflex and he's not really thinking about catching those balls, but he did it again that time. You watch him here. This ball's hit hard. Now watch his bare hand go down. Like he's going to catch that thing before it goes by. No way. And as Andy said, a great try by Samuel, who even if he had gloved that ball, wouldn't have been able to throw out Tuffle.
Santana 0 for 1, grounded out to shortstop. Since the major leagues went to division play in 1969, the earliest clinching in the National League was September 7th of 75 when the Reds won the NL West. The earliest clinching in the East was the Pirates' win in 72. They wrapped it up on September 21st. Ground ball. Mike Schmidt's got it. There's one. There's another one. 5-4-3 double play, and that means Gooden has to lead off next inning. So the Phillies have turned their first double play. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. 4.5. It's 2-0 Phillies.
ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
You never know what you'll get.
Bud. No, extra. Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, ask for Bud Light.
Yours? No.
Because everything else
Give me a light. Showtime.
is just a light.
Come on, Sammy. Steal one. Take your lead. Take your lead. You got him worried now. Yeah. Oh, you're in, baby. You're in. Oh, yeah.
Free sports socks to all children 14 and under September 14th. Watch the drama of baseball. It only happens when you're here.
And here's Juan Samuel's pivot. Start that inning-ending double play. Make sure Tuffle gets down, and then fires at Devon Hayes, who picks it off for the double play. And Bruce Ruffin continues to throw ground balls. Here's the National League hitting leaders, and this is updated through tonight. Von Hayes, with his 2 for 2, has moved up in a tie for 5th with Keith Hernandez. What a year Von Hayes is having. See Tim Raines and Sachs and Gwynn. Looks like they're going to battle it out to the bitter end. And Wade Boggs, who just hits 350 like it's nothing. Mattingly right there, and a great year for Kirby Puckett. And Jim Rice, a power hitter, hitting for average at 330. Rice, a guy, grounds into a lot of double plays, and unusual for him to hit for that kind of average. Also knocked in 100 runs for the 8th season. Jim Rice, a great player. And a good chance to be in a World Series this year.
Phillies batting in the 5th. Milt Thompson starts it. And Thompson got a base hit to score the first Phillies run back in the opening inning. Last time up, he hit a ball sharply right to short, and the Mets turned a double play. Milt has also picked up a stolen base tonight, his 14th. Mike Maddox for the Phils tomorrow. Bob Ojeda for New York right here at the vet at 7:05. Thompson thinks about bunting, not a bad idea. Ray Knight has had butterfingers over there at third base.
I think he's having trouble adjusting to that AstroTurf tonight. Here you see Ray Knight coming in, just in case there's a bunt.
Doc reclaims part of the plate with that pitch, 1-2. Outside, 2-2. And our good friend Tim McCarver, who does the Mets games and travels with them, says that Dwight Gooden is a nice person. Great guy. Foul back. And Timmy doesn't say that about everybody.
No, only if he means it. The thing about Tim McCarver is you always know where you stand with him.
2-2 on Thompson leading off the 5th. A roller, he's got a base hit right through the middle. A leadoff single for Thompson to start the 5th. Milt is 2 out of 3 tonight. He has 2 hits, and Von Hayes has 2 hits.
And Milt Thompson fighting off some Dwight Gooden pitches till he can get something he can handle and hit it right back through the middle. He's already shown tonight he can run. There you go. Fastball in on him. His bat was really quick that time. That's a pitch that Milt gets jammed on once in a while, but he really got that bat head out in a hurry and hit it hard through the middle.
Now here's Hayes, 2 for 2 RBI double, single, and run scored. Keep in mind that the last time Thompson ran, the Mets called a pitch out, but Carter slipped making the throw, and Thompson was safe by a wide margin. Able to get back standing. Phillies are on top 2-0. We're in the 5th. Awfully close, just missed. 1-0 to Hayes, batting at .309. Hayes started the evening in a tie for the double leadership. Steve Sachs tied him yesterday, or a day before yesterday, and Hayes untied it again tonight with a double on his first trip. He has 39 two-base hits.
Really pinching him up the middle infielders.
Broken bat, looper, it's going to fall. Base hit. Thompson will have to stop at second, but Hayes is 3 for 3 on a broken bat Texas League single.
Ron Hayes at .309, and now he gets himself another hit. You see Keith Hernandez talking it over with him. Good pitch by Dwight Gooden right on his thumbs and flares it into right field. Thompson had to make sure so he couldn't go to third on the play. Certainly didn't want to get doubled with Mike Schmidt coming up. You see Mike Schmidt there. I noticed a note on him tonight. Michael now leading the National League in home runs again. He's led the league 7 times, along with our good friend Ralph Kiner, of course, is a broadcaster with the Mets. And if Mike does it this year, he'll set a National League record, and then Babe Ruth, of course, has the all-time record with 9. You start talking about Mike Schmidt with guys like Ralph Kiner and Babe Ruth. I mean, these are great home run hitters. And Mike Schmidt is really getting up there now with some numbers that will put him right in the Hall of Fame.
His next home run will tie Lou Gehrig. He has 492 career jobs right now. And Gehrig finished with 493. Schmidt is 0 for 2 tonight, was safe on an error by Knight the last time around. Nobody out. Low, ball 1.
Phillies need to break through. They've had Gooden in a lot of trouble as Thompson, the runner, on at second. And Hayes on at first. They've had him in trouble. And Gooden's been able to pitch out of it for the most part. And now they have 2 on and nobody out with some RBI people coming up. But they are all right-handed.
Well, here we are in the 5th inning, and the Phillies have had hits in every inning.
See Hernandez playing off as Hayes is well off the bag. He can get to second in a hurry. They have a tremendous overshift on Schmidt this time with Tuffle, the second baseman, right behind the bag. There you see it. It's interesting that they would do that with a guy that throws as hard as Gooden. But Schmidt really jerked the ball last time up, pulled it.
Just foul. Oh, would that have been trouble? Right down the line and went foul just before it passed the bag. 1 ball, 1 strike on Schmidt.
Mike got out in front of that pitch then and pulled it foul.
Phillies are ahead 2-0. They have 7 hits off Gooden tonight. But as Will says, he has avoided the big jam so far.
When Dwight Gooden releases that ball, Keith Hernandez sprints towards the hole on the right side, figuring that Mike Schmidt is not going to hit a ball down the line, so he's going to take away that vacated second base area if at all possible.
Phillies fans starting to make themselves heard tonight. Hits it solidly to straightaway center. He really nailed it. 3-run home run for Schmidt. Phillies lead the Mets 5-0. A center field home run for Schmidt.
That tying Lou Gehrig, 14th place, and he juices Dwight Gooden to dead center. You want to get the New York media's attention, Michael? Go ahead right here. Fire, fastball out over the plate, way out of here to dead center field. Come on out and give him a hand. Woo. Boy, this is a long, long home run, Andy. supporting Mike Schmidt's home run team, which means that every time Mike hits a homer, Prism and each company on the team donates $100 to the United Way. And we've been saying all along the way that he can win this MVP this year is to just put numbers on the board you can't ignore, and he's doing it. I'll tell you what, you take Dwight Gooden out to dead center like that, and that'll open a lot of eyes.
A bouncer toward third. It goes foul by Wilson. Glenn is 0 for 2, struck out, reached base on an error by Knight.
Boy, he's
buzzing now.
It's really buzzing.
Ball and 2 strikes on Wilson. Still nobody out in the inning. It was single home run. I hope these people have hotel rooms. Whoa. Really bearing in on Willie there. 2-2.
Gooden doesn't do much of that. He's not known as somebody who throws at people. That ball really chased Glenn Wilson. It's one of those get me out of here. He's hit 3 batters this year. Jeff Stone, one of them, right off his kneecap.
There's a liner down the right field line, but foul and out of play. Stoney very disappointed that he's not in the lineup tonight. He's still suffering from an ankle problem, which he actually re-injured in Chicago in the Wednesday game. He wanted to get back at Dwight.
And Stoney can't quite get it together yet. He wants to play, but he's not healthy.
Curveball got him with that curve. Wilson strikes out. Strikeout number 6 for Gooden, and that's the first out of the inning. So Gooden has 6 strikeouts, but the Phillies have 5 runs. The most the Phillies have scored off Gooden this year. Juan Samuel flied out to left and hit a bolt to deep right center, but Mookie Wilson ran it down.
Have their bullpen up too, Andy, because Gooden's due to bat leading off the 6th inning.
Very high and very deep. Mookie says he can get it, and look out, Mitchell. Mookie makes the play on the warning track. Michael Jack with his 35th home run, and the Phillies are up 5-0.
People want to say he's not intense sometimes. Look at his eyes tonight. I mean, he is really in the flow. Look at that.
Wow. Here's Ron Reynolds, got a broken bat single and looked at a called third strike. Strike 1. Gooden with 714 strikeouts in 711 and a third innings of pitch, so he's better than a strikeout per inning, and that includes tonight's action. You're right, they are up in the Mets bullpen.
Well, that's Doug Sisk in the front of your picture, and number 43 is John Mitchell, a pitcher we've never seen before. Mets have made some recalls also, and John Mitchell is a pitcher who spent the season at Tidewater, where he was 12-9 as a starter.
So it could be that Gooden is facing his last hitter in this game.
Oh, I would think they would hit for him. Down 5-0 in the 6th inning. You know, it's not like they have to win tonight.
balls and 2 strikes on Reynolds. Thompson got a base hit. Hayes followed with a broken bat single, and Schmitty unloaded with a center field home run, and the Phillies are comfortable right now, 5-0. Bouncing ball to Santana, and he misplays it. That'll be the 4th error of the game on New York. How about that? 4 errors on the Mets.
Rafael Santana lets this ball play him. Just eats him up. Comes off that turf. I'm telling you, these guys aren't used to this stuff, and they're showing it tonight. They're a grass and dirt team, and play a lot of their games on grass and dirt. Of course, they're home games. And
think they'll have trouble in the dome?
Well, it'll be, you know, the one thing about the dome's turf, it's the best because it's inside. And it's very spongy and very true. In fact, the Phillies players say it is without a doubt the best turf.
Deltz hit a double his last time up. He grounds a foul. He struck out his first time around, so Steve is 1 for 2.
But it is a faster surface. This turf here at Veterans Stadium is not in good shape right now, and it's very uneven, and it's very fast. And when teams come in here, you can see some of the things happen to them that's happened tonight. But the Mets are not a world-class defensive team. That's not their strong point.
No, but they do have the best hitters and the best pitchers.
And that's good. Get the best ERA in the league, the best offense in the league, and you can run away with it.
That's over 162 games. Now all they have to do is play Houston in 7. That's going to be interesting. 2 balls and a strike on Jeltz. Phillies lead at 5-0, bottom of the 5th. Reynolds on base for the 2nd time tonight. Gooden missing up again. It's 3-1 on Jeltz.
Davey Johnson wants to get him through this inning, too, if he's going to hit for him. Because he is due to lead off.
Ball 4, he walked him. The second base on ball is given up by Gooden, and the Phillies get pitcher Bruce Ruffin to the plate. And that's a plus for the Phils. He has struck out twice, and there's Davey, and things are not exactly going his way right now, but this is an explosive team, so let's be careful here.
Oh, yeah. The New York Mets have 4 more at-bats. They didn't get to where they are by not coming from behind once in a while on the road.
First and second with 2 out. Here's Ruffin.
But here's the main reason why they'll have a little more trouble than some other nights.
Ruffin is the 8th batter to hit this inning. Gary Reed is the only batter who has not been to the plate here in the 5th for the Phillies. High heat, 0-2. Call out on strikes. Strikeout number 7 for Gooden, but the Phillies pick up 3 big runs on Schmidt's home run. 3 hits, 1 error, 2 men left on base. We finished 5 innings in the vet, and it's 5-0 Phillies.
Philly fanatic is gone, and so is Dwight Gooden. As the New York Mets are going to go to a pinch hitter, it'll be Stan Jefferson. Philly fanatic with 3 helmets that he wants to destroy here. One of them right there. The Phillies would like to hold off the Mets party and beat them here this weekend. Here's Stan Jefferson, 23-year-old outfielder from New York City, resides in the Bronx. He's a switch hitter. 5'11", 175-pounder. At Tidewater this year, Jefferson batted .290 in 95 games. Had 19 doubles, knocked in 36 runs. And he pops it up. Hayes with a run down the line. Can he get there? He's got it. Good play by Von Hayes. See Hayes with a long run. Fan reaching out with a glove here. And Hayes takes it right away from him. That's mine, not yours. The line on Dwight Gooden tonight. 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and the big home run by Mike Schmidt. Mookie Wilson is 0 for 2, grounded out to short, grounded out for second. Batting at .299. Bruce Ruffin with a 3-hit shutout with 1 out in the 6th inning. Kevin Mitchell on deck. Top of the New York order with Mookie Wilson at bat. He pops it up. That ball should reach the stands. Hayes over again. He'll run out of room. We count 1 ball, 1 strike on Wilson. Mookie Wilson. Come back well for New York this year, getting some strength back in that shoulder that was damaged, necessitated surgery, and then the eye injury in spring training put him out for a while. Gives the Mets great depth out there with Dykstra. Hits it hard to right field for a base hit. Well, Mookie Wilson on with a single to right. That's hit number 4 for New York, and Kevin Mitchell will bat. Doug Sisk continuing to throw for New York will be their next pitcher, it would appear. And Mitchell is single to center, grounded to short. He's 1 for 2, batting at .291. Done an outstanding job for the Mets in his rookie year. Fastball low, 1-0. Snap throw to first, and Mookie Wilson back in time. Kevin Mitchell's played a lot of positions. Played several infield positions, several outfield positions. Tried to check his swing. It's 1-1. Ruffin trying to get a ground ball here. Would like a double play. Phillies have turned 1 so far tonight. Keith Hernandez in the on-deck circle. 5-0 Phillies in the 6th. Kevin Mitchell swings and misses. It's 1-2. Mitchell out of San Diego, California. Tough guy. Oh, he tried to check on the slider, did he? And Hallion says yes. So the count 2-2 now on Mitchell. Could be 2. Samuel to Jeltz. Double play, and the Mets are gone in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit. No errors by the Phillies, and nobody left on base. We're through 5.5 very interesting innings tonight. Phillies 5, New York Mets nothing.
Pride. Tradition. For centuries, the Clydesdale has been known as a special breed. Today, the Clydesdale symbolize Budweiser's dedication to quality, superior ingredients, exclusive beechwood aging, and a distinctively clean, crisp taste that only Budweiser can offer. Quality taste. Because this Bud's for you.
If you've always dreamed of being in the big leagues, you can live that fantasy next February at Dream Week. I'm Chris Wheeler, inviting you to join me and play ball with and against former Phillies at the Phillies Spring Training Complex in beautiful Clearwater, Florida.
You make him hit it. All right. Let's go. Dig it, dig it, dig it.
For Dream Week information, call 215-938-0517.
And remember, if you're a baseball fan, you'll just love Dream Week and playing with former Phillies like Jim Bunning, Larry Boa, Richie Ashburn. Oh, there's so many more. So to register or to get more information, call Regina Hunt at 463-6000 right here at the Phillies, and Reggie will get some information out to you. Big crowd on hand tonight, and here's the Phillies' upcoming schedule. The Mets here again tomorrow and Sunday. We won't be on Prism in those games, then off to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or the Pirates will be here for 2, and then the Cardinals come in for 2. We'll have a Prism game for you on the 17th. And then the Phillies head for Gotham City to play these New York Mets. Well, we're running out of Prism games, only 2 left, so write that one down, September 17th. Had a good year here on Prism. 23-12, I believe the record. There's Doug Sisk coming in. Sisk, a sinker balling relief pitcher, coming into game number 35. There are his numbers. He spent some time this year also at Tidewater. He's a setup man for Orozco and McDowell. Phillies with a run in the first, a run in the third, and then a 3-run bolt to center by Mike Schmidt. In the 5th inning, the lead 5-0 behind brilliant rookie Bruce Ruffin. Dwight Gooden now out of the game after 5 innings of work. Doug Sisk on. He'll face Gary Reedus in the top of the order. Reedus, Thompson, and Hayes. Thank Linda Musher from Huntington Valley for dropping off some macadamia nuts here tonight. Also to our good friend Jerry Politano and his wife for bringing up some kind of a apple cake, it appeared. Thank you for the goodies. We appreciate it. Reedus off Dwight Gooden tonight was 0 for 2 with a walk, now facing Doug Sisk. Strike called, says Pallone. And 1-2 on Sisk, basically a sinker slider pitcher. Sinker ball popped out of play, first base side. No, Reedus stays alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gary Carter, New York Mets catcher. Mike Schmidt's home run tonight is 35th of the year, tying him with Lou Gehrig. And his 109th RBI on that 3-run shot. Swing and a foul back. Not even the biggest Mike Schmidt detractors can get on him this year. That home run for him was career .493, tying with Gehrig for 14th place in the all-time list. Reedus gets jammed, pop-up Tuffle makes a fine running play out in right field as Strawberry didn't look like he was going to get there. Tuffle had to go a long way for that ball. And Milt Thompson, the batter. Milt's had a good night. 2 for 3. 2 runs scored, a stolen base, and he's grounded into a double play. Has his average up to 255. Doesn't sound like a whole lot till you realize how far he's come after a slow start. And he hits it to shortstop Santana on 2 hops. And Raphael will throw out Thompson. So 2 up and 2 down in the 6th. And Hayes will be the batter. What a night for Von Hayes. A single, 2 singles, a double, 2 runs scored. Has his average all the way up to 310. Which is good for 5th best now in the National League. Inside with a ball. 1-0 with Mike Schmidt on deck. And Carter got that one. Ooh, that hurt. Von Hayes fouled this ball right off Carter, right off his foot. And Carter banging that foot on the ground, trying to get the sensation back in it. Hayes with a count of 1-1 off Doug Sisk. 2 out, nobody on base. Breaking ball, and he gets it over 1-2. And Hayes beats it foul towards the camera location and over the Phillies dugout. And the count remains 1-2 on Von Hayes. Dwight Gooden started Doug Sisk on in relief here in the 6th inning. Phillies with 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. No runs, 4 hits, and 4 errors for the New York Mets. Bruce Ruffin all the way for Philadelphia. And Hayes fouls another pitch off. When you're hot, you do a lot of that. Foul balls off and stay alive, and they get something you can handle. Hayes has ripped a double to left center that Mookie Wilson misjudged. Single to center, the ball got by Wilson, and he's flared a hit to right. Then he gets jammed again, flares another ball. This one to left. Wilson can't get it. Mitchell falls. Santana backs it up, and Hayes will have another double, and he's 4 for 4. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, when you're hot like Hayes is, good things happen. This is a good pitch by Sisk. He really jams him, flares it out there. Mitchell can't get there. Santana can't get there. And then Kevin Mitchell takes a little fall here, bounces over his head. Santana backs up, and Hayes on at second with 2 out. And Michael Jack Schmidt, the batter. There you see what Mike Schmidt has done in this ballpark. Oh, there's a great stat. Haven't seen that one before. Randy Seidman and our Prism crew coming up with that. Hayes is the first Phillies player to get 40 or more doubles since Pete Rose in 1980. And the first Phillies left-handed hitter to have 40 or more doubles since Johnny Callison in 1966. And he's still got 3 weeks to go. Schmidt at 292 with 35 homers, 109 RBIs. Michael tonight is 1 for 3. Smoked a ball off Ray Knight that was scored an error in his second at bat. Inside with a fastball. That ball was really hit hard. He hit his second time up. Hayes scored on the play. But since it was scored an error, no RBI for Mike. 1-1 with Von Hayes at second base. Down low, 2-1. Glenn Wilson on deck. Phillies trying to break through here off Doug Sisk in his first inning of work. There's Wilson. count 2 balls and 2 strikes as Mike Schmidt swings through the pitch, and watch his stroke. I don't think I've ever seen him go through a season where he's been a better hitter. Cut his strikeouts way down. He's made great contact. Tremendous accomplishment for him at this stage of his career, what he's done this year. And he tops a foul third base side. And you see now Michael tied with Lou Gehrig and the great Mel Ott next at 5'11". And of course Mike Schmidt's next tremendous milestone as far as home runs will be the 500 mark. And Schmidt calls time. There's a lot of hot dog wrappers starting to blow around here. Big crowd in attendance. Thinking home run off Doug Sisk. He hasn't allowed one this year. And he tops the ball to third baseman Knight's going to be a tough play. Oh, and Hayes got hung up. That'll be a base hit for Schmidt, and Hayes is going to be out. As Ray Knight made a good play then, and Hayes made a base running mistake. That'll be a single for Schmidt. Score the put-out 5-6 for the Phillies in the 6th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors by the New York Mets, and 1 man left on base. We're through 6 innings at the vet. It's 5-0 Phillies. Phillies minor league player of the year, a young man named Ron Jones. Larry Rosen talked to him this afternoon, so let's join Larry.
All right, thanks, Chris. Of course, we met pitcher of the year Marvin Freeman after 3 innings. Now we will meet the minor league player of the year by the name of Ron Jones. He was the most valuable player in the Florida State League, won himself a batting title, hit 370-plus. Jones, one of those diamond-in-the-rough type finds for the Philly scouts when they found him 2 years ago.
I was a free agent in 1984, and I didn't get drafted my sophomore year out of junior college, Wharton, Texas, Wharton Junior College, and I just got a chance with the Phillies, and I just signed. And I was just glad to get a chance, you know. And I was about 25 pounds overweight at the time. I was working, doing a little construction work, and I had to get the weight down. I reported to Rookie League Ball in Bend, Oregon, about 220, 5'9", 5'10", 220, and I was pretty heavy. So the next year, I just came to spring training and lost about 18 pounds. Reported in about 202, something like that, and that really helped a lot.
Now, the only Philly that Ron has ever played with is that man, Tom Hume, who spent about a month in Clearwater on a rehab assignment back in April and May. For Ron Jones, his first look ever at Veterans Stadium, as he was named today the minor league player of the year for the Phillies. 7th inning baseball now. Here comes Chris and Andy.
And the Phillies are riding this 5-0 lead as we go to the 7th inning. And let's take a look at this play as Hayes gets caught rounding here. Mike Schmidt pulls this play from time to time. Knight had no play at first base, so he went to Santana, and Hayes is in no man's land. Keith Hernandez will lead off the 7th for New York. Keith has hit into a fielder's choice and grounded to second. He is 0 for 2. Bruce Ruffin trying to beat the Mets for the 2nd time, and the 2nd and only time he has faced them. Willie Stargell and Keith shared the '79 MVP award. Takes a whack at that sinker ball and doesn't connect. He'll be followed by Carter and Strawberry. The Mets with just 4 hits, 1 double and 3 singles. A little poke shot went the opposite way and flares it to left field. A hit for Hernandez to start the 7th for New York. Hit number 5 for the Mets.
It's just an example there why Keith Hernandez has made such a great living as a tremendous hitter. Ruffin really pitched him tough, and he goes away with an outstanding slider. And Keith Hernandez just goes out and serves at the left field. What a good hitter he is. Hit that kind of pitch that way.
And now Gary Carter will bat. He has grounded to short into a fielder's choice and flied to the track in center field. Carter 0 for 2.
Von Hayes with that base running mistake last inning. as some debris is in the outfield. And what he was trying to do there is too much. You know, he came around third hoping that maybe Ray Knight would throw that ball to first base and he was going to score. Get Mike Schmidt another RBI.
And you can see Carter has been very productive in this ballpark. The most productive, in fact. Parker, Bench, Kingman, Dawson to follow.
Sounds funny, but what you want to do in a home game right now is keep the crowd out of it.
That does sound funny.
But that's what Ruffin's been able to do tonight, is keep these Mets fans toned down.
He's looking for a double play right here. He's got a couple of runners who could pull it, Hernandez and Carter. He can get himself a ground ball and an infielder. The Phillies have turned 2 tonight. Won each of the last 2 innings. Nothing on Carter. Carter is third in the league in RBIs with 94. Missed 2 weeks with that injury. And the ball rolls beyond Reynolds, but no advance by Hernandez. 3 balls and no strikes to Carter. He's not missing by much here. Ball 4. Mets get their first 2 men aboard here in the 7th inning. What the left-handed batting Strawberry coming up now. That's the first walk issued by Ruffin. First and second, nobody out, and Strawberry, who has grounded out and struck out. Phillies lead at 5-0. Here's Strawberry, who's had a tough time at home this year, has fared much better on the road. Strike. I bet that felt good to Ruffin. Can't get it. It goes on through. Hernandez being waved. He's going to score. It's a 5-1 game. Strawberry with an RBI single. So sometimes those ground balls that go right to fielders, other times can't be played, and that's what happened here.
And it's a good at-bat for Strawberry, too, because he got the ball out over the plate, and he gets it just out of Juan Salmel's reach. You know, a foot one the other way, and it's a double play. That's why the Mets are a great team that they are this year. They'll come after you, and that's just what they're doing.
Still nobody out in the inning. And the Phillies are getting bullpen action for the first time. Schatzeder and Tekulve just starting to throw. Ray Knight, the hitter. Phillies lead it 5-1. Knight has doubled and grounded to third base. Reynolds bluffing the throw toward first, trying to get Strawberry too far off. There's our totals. We are in the 7th inning. Nobody out. Phillies trying to postpone what seems like the inevitable. A liner foul. That looked like one of wife Nancy's golf shots right there.
She doesn't hit them that way. That's the way we hit them.
No, not that direction, but low and hard.
Yeah.
1-2 the count on Knight.
He had the kind of year the New York Mets have had. I'm sure, you know, the dugout just thinks it's a matter of time till you come back. That's the way the Phillies were in their championship years. You always have that feeling.
High bouncer toward third. It goes foul. And the Mets have had their share of come-from-behind wins this year. And they have the unbelievable record of 81-2 in games where they have led after 8 innings. Their bullpen has been sensational. Ray Knight has 8 RBIs in the last 12 games. These Met fans have been waiting all night for something to cheer about. Not deep in center. Long run for Thompson. Says he can get it, and he does. He had a ways to come, and he got there. That's the first out of the inning, and the runners hold.
Well, he broke back on that ball initially, and it was in the air long enough that Thompson was able to come on and make the play. It's a big out, too, for Ruffin to just get an out in this inning.
Tim Tuffle singled last time up, rounded out the first time up. Two on with 1 out. Phillies lead it 5-1. High a ball. Tuffle is hitting at .256. Strike. 1-1 to Tim Tuffle, sharing second base with Wally Backman. Mets will change their lineup tomorrow because the Phils will go with a right-hander. Phillies will change theirs because the Mets will go with a left-hander. That's a fair ball. Scoring on the play will be Carter. Coming right through a stop sign is Strawberry. He's safe, and the Mets get 2 runs. It's a 5-3 game. Tuffle doubles, and the Mets get 2. Strawberry ran right through a stop sign and scored.
Tuffle's done a great job this year, and Strawberry made a mistake, and Jeltz's throw was high. Boy, they had him, too. Base-running mistake by Strawberry, but he scores on the play. Reedus makes a good throw here to Jeltz, and it surprised him. And here comes the throw. See, he's got him by a mile, but the throw's too high, and Strawberry gets in.
So the Phillies' lead is cut to 5-3, and here's Rafael Santana. He takes high a ball. Lee Mazzilli is in the on-deck circle to bat for Sisk. Nobody from the dugout has visited the mound this entire game. Ruffin has been in total charge until now. Santana has grounded out twice, once into a double play. Strike. 1-1. So this comfortable 5-0 lead has turned into a 5-3 nail-biter. We're only in the 7th inning. Rounded over top the Mets dugout. 1-2 the count. Phillies really want to prevent this run from scoring, keep the 2-run lead. In the air to left field. Reedus says he can get it. Now Thompson makes the play. Thompson calls Reedus off the play and catches it. Tuffle remains at second. There are 2 outs. And the hitter is going to be Lee Mazzilli batting for Sisk. Here's Mazzilli. Since joining the Mets, Mazzilli is batting at 222, 225 for the year, including his service with Pittsburgh.
Mazzilli has to think he died and went to heaven coming over here at this time of the year. What a break it was for Lee Mazzilli.
Second tour of duty with the Mets.
Pirates released him. He went to Tidewater for a while. They released George Foster and picked up Mazzilli, and what a good move that was for New York.
Lee, of course, hails from New York. He's from Brooklyn. Fouls one. Mazzilli is not only a switch hitter, he is ambidextrous. He can throw with either arm.
Well, he's, you know, for years he's wanted to be an everyday player, and he's not, because he's limited. But he is a heck of an extra man on your ball club. Switch hitter, he's got some pop. He can play some positions, and he's accepted that role here because that's what he is, and he'll really help New York.
Two balls and a strike to pinch hitter Mazzilli batting for Sisk. The Mets have climbed off the mat to get some runs. It's 5-3 now. Phillies on top by a pair. The wind is really starting to whip up here at Veterans Stadium. Mazzilli chases one, 2-2. That pitch was way out of the strike zone. This is the first inning that Ruffin has given up more than one hit. A little bit low. Full count to it. Mets have 3 hits this inning, and they've scored 2 runs. Scored 3 runs, I beg your pardon. Taking off a sign. And he steps off. Got a full count on the pinch hitter Mazzilli. A little flare into right field, but Wilson is there. Didn't hit it that hard. Wilson makes the catch, and that'll do it. But in the 7th, the Mets are on the board for the first time with 3 runs, 3 hits, and 1 man left on base. Stretch time here at Veterans Stadium. Phillies on top 5-3. And let's see what Wheels has in store for us now. Chris?
All right, Andy Musser, thank you very much. And we have Sports Sox Day coming up this Sunday. What a great game we've got at Veterans Stadium for you tonight. And there's those Sports Sox. Perfect. Just hold them up right there, Stacy. That's it. All kids 14 and under when you come to the Vet and see the Phillies and these New York Mets on Sunday. You'll get a set of these Sports Sox. So come on out on Sunday when the Phillies play the Mets, and who knows, maybe the Mets won't have clinched yet. It could be a heck of a game for you to come see. Game time will be 1:35, and those Sports Sox are for all kids 14 and under, compliments of the Phillies. Stacy Grundlock from Gloucester County Community College. First thing I'd like to ask you about is one of your high school teachers. There's our good friend Jerry Gaiman who works here. What kind of teacher was he?
He was an excellent teacher, and he taught me everything I knew in English.
Well, he does a great job of running the press box up here for us down in one of the areas. You want to get into occupational therapy. Know exactly what would that mean, Stacy?
It's the fine-tuning of the body. If you got in an accident and you broke your fingers, I would reteach them how to use their fingers again. And it's just like helping them to get better into their job with the accident that they had.
So that takes a lot of time to work with people who have had some problems.
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
Well, I see you're from South Jersey, so you want to say hello to some people. We have a lot of prison people over there, and you probably have somebody you'd like to say hello to.
It's my mom and my dad. I say hello, and to everybody in West Deptford.
Okay, well, thanks for coming up, Stacey. We appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and remember, it'll be Sports Sox Day when the Phillies play the New York Mets right here on Sunday. Game time will be 1:35, and all kids 14 and under will receive those very nice sports socks.
Anderson, who's going to come on and pitch now for the Mets. He'll be their third pitcher of this game, following Dwight Gooden, who worked 5, and Doug Sisk, who worked 1 inning. Anderson has started against the Phillies this year, and he has no lifetime record against the Phillies, but he made his major league debut in June of this year against the Phillies, and he worked 7 innings in that game, giving up 4 hits and only an unearned run. He left with a 2-1 lead, but the Mets didn't hold it for him. So now it's a 5-3 game, and Glenn Wilson leads it off for the Phillies, who are looking for more. Outside, ball 1. Anderson, 29 years of age, from Everett, Washington. Spent a long time in the minors before he got a shot to pitch in the big leagues. A bouncer past the mound, going to be a tough play. Santana makes it. Wilson grounds to Santana, who turns in a big league effort there. Mets defense has not been the best tonight, but let's watch this play. Santana winds up on the first base side of the bag, makes a strong throw, and gets Willie by a couple of steps. Here's Samuel. He's 0 for 3 tonight. All 3 fly balls. One of them went to the warning track in deep right center. Tries a bunt, but it goes foul. He deadened it right there in that dirt. Well, it's good to see Samuel try that every once in a while. He could get a lot of extra hits if he did that. Watch how quickly he flares out with that bat. Just flashes at it. With his speed, he can beat a lot of them out. 0-1 the count on Samuel. The big blow for the Phillies tonight, a 3-run home run by Schmidt, and Von Hayes is 4 for 4. Off the glove of the pitcher Anderson, out into center field, on a base hit. Samuel gets a single. Anderson got leather on it, couldn't hold it. And that is the 11th hit in this game for the Phillies.
Well, the Mets have some momentum now after that last inning. You see Sammy hit this sinker ball back through the middle, right off the glove of Anderson, who probably should have caught the ball into center field. And you might see Samuel try and run here, as the Phillies would like to try and get some more runs on the board, because the Mets are showing great signs of coming back in this game.
Reynolds has been on base twice, once on a broken bat single, once on an error by Santana. The Mets infield looks for a double play. Lead at 5-3 here in the 7th, trying to prevent the Mets from clinching tonight. Jimmy Davenport flashing the signs. The Mets can't do it tonight. They get another shot tomorrow behind Bobby Ojeda, who will face Mike Maddox. Fouled. 0-2 the count on Reynolds. They haven't announced the attendance yet. As soon as they do, we'll pass it along to you. It's going to be a biggie tonight. Samuel with 38 stolen bases to rank 6th in the league. Took off and stopped. Here's a pop-up foul. It's going to be out of play behind the Mets dugout.
He was going that time, and something stopped him, whether he didn't read Anderson's move, or he just decided he didn't get a jump or spun his wheels down there, but he was definitely running on that play and stopped.
One on and one out as the Phillies hit here in the 7th inning. There's a balloon that lands in fair territory right in front of the plate. Oops, it's self-destructive.
That was only a one-hop balloon. That second hop got it.
Sammy goes. The ball is hit in the air to right field.
He can't find it.
Uh-oh. Pitch is made by Strawberry. Here comes the play at first. He's out. Cromwell is out on the throw by Strawberry, and that ends it for the Phillies in the seventh. No runs, one hit, nobody left at the end of 7 full. Phil's lead 5-3.
Give me a light. Ooh, Bud Light. Great game.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Pitcher of light.
Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
One of the most frustrating things I dealt with as a detective was to see those criminals that should have been punished, that committed crimes over and over and over again, that they were given a slap on the wrist. And now, thanks to our inspector, we have a bill with some teeth in it.
Senator Specter has given local prosecutors a very strong tool to remove armed career criminals from our streets.
Arlen Specter's career criminal bill has taken the sneer off the faces of these criminals.
And back at Veterans Stadium, here's Juan Samuel trying to get back to first. And he was safe. It looked like he was safe, but he got caught up in that play because he didn't see where the ball was going, and the Mets infielders did a great job at deking him, Andy. They had their hands down, and Samuel never could find the ball until Strawberry caught it.
Here's Steve Bedrosian to pitch now for the Phillies. They make a double change and put Aguayo at second, and Bedrosian will bat in Samuel's spot. So Bruce Ruffin out of the game after 7 innings. He worked, he gave up 7 hits and 3 runs, walked 1, had only 1 strikeout. Phillies lead the game 5-3, and it's up to Bedrock to see if he can hold on. Bedrosian, 61st appearance. Only Kent Jacoby has been in more games for the Phillies, and here is Mookie Wilson. Mookie got a hit his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Grounded out the first 2 times up. Switch hitter, so he's up there now as a left-handed batter. His average is about the same from both sides of the plate, almost identical. The Mets bring Dykstra out in the on-deck circle to bat for Mitchell. Lenny Dykstra will be the hitter next. There's Lenny Dykstra. He has been troublesome. And Mookie strikes out. Bedrock comes out of the bullpen to get a strikeout.
Well, you talk about big players. Well, first of all, here's the strikeout. Good fastball by Bedrosian. He threw a slider to Mookie Wilson before that and then blew him away with a heater. Dykstra and Backman have really been the backbone of this New York club this year. They've done a great job, especially Wally Backman, who I think is just an outstanding player.
Here's Dykstra. His batting average has been in a free fall lately. 302 looks pretty good, but he was hitting 340, even leading the league there for a while. Up as a pinch hitter for Mitchell. Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra is from Santa Ana, California. 23-year-old rookie. Good man to have at the top of your lineup. A little bit low. 2 balls and a strike on Dykstra. Keith Hernandez will be next. Nice job by Bruce Ruffin tonight. 7 strong innings against a team trying to clinch a division title. 2-2.
Yeah, he only walked one batter tonight, and that was Carter last inning. I heard him. Two left-handed hitters got hits on it, but good at-bats, both of them. I mean, Hernandez fought off a slider and flared it, and Darryl Strawberry had a good at-bat and hit the ball up the middle just out of Somwell's reach. It might have been a double play ball. So the Mets really did some things well last inning, and so did Ruffin.
Here's a little jam job towards Schmidt. Has trouble with the lights, but makes the play. Dykstra on a jam job, and a humpback liner to third is out. 2 outs.
And he leaves pieces of his bat at home plate.
Now the hitter is Keith Hernandez. Hernandez 1 for 3 with a run scored. It was that single Wheels was talking about. It came last inning. Phillies lead it 5-3 in the 8th.
I think a hit like that is as impressive as a home run when you see a hitter fight off a breaking ball the way he did.
Takes a strike. One strike on Hernandez. Davy Johnson, one-time member of the Phillies.
2 pinch hit grand slams in one season for Davy.
Never forget them.
One of them off Terry Forster, and the other off a left-hander from San Diego, and I can't think of his name. Might have been Lawler.
On the corner. 1-2, the count to Hernandez. There's a bullet. Thompson over to field it. Keith Hernandez has a 2-out single, his second hit. And Gary Carter comes to the plate. Well, you know what Carter will be thinking about here. He'll be trying to get a hold of one.
Boy, that wind is really blowing at the top of the stadium, too. Usually when the flags start blowing the way they are, the ball will fly out of here, too. Look at that.
Standing straight.
Usually it'll carry to left when they're blowing to right.
Carter takes ball 1. Carter is 0 for 2 tonight with a walk and a run scored. Phillies lead it 5-3. We're in the 8th inning. Carter has been the most prolific home run hitter among visitors here at Veterans Stadium. Oh, he took a rip.
Oh, he had a tough slider to hit, too. He was swinging fastball for a dinger, and he got a slider. Watching him on TV this year and against the Phillies in games that he's played, he doesn't miss his pitch much this year. And when Gary Carter gets his pitch to hit, he nails it. That was a real good breaking ball from Bedrosian.
In the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. Strike, 2-2.
Well, you throw it out there, you'll keep him in the ballpark, even if he hits it. That was a perfect pitch from Bedrosian, according to Pallone, on the outside corner. It's the idea right now. Stay away from him, stay away from his power.
He just got a piece of it. So it's still 2-2 to Carter. 2 outs with a man on base here, and the Phillies with a 2-run lead, 8th inning. Popped him up, way up high. Jeltz goes out and makes the call. Makes the catch, and the inning is over. Carter pops to Jeltz to end the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. At the end of 7.5 innings, the Phillies lead the Mets 5-3.
said this city was through. You said, no way.
Each day the spirit's growing. Your pride is really showing. You are the power, the man of the hour. You've really got things going. You make America work, and this fight for you. For everything you do, America calls on guys like you. 'Cause you make America work, and this fight for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Aged, for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers.
You make America work, and this fight for you.
Here at Veterans Stadium, the Mets are making some changes. The Phillies lead at 5-3. Dykstra remains in the game, and he'll play in center, and Mookie Wilson will move over and play in left field.
Here's tonight's main attendance, 43,070.
Main attendance at Veterans Stadium tonight, 43,017. A lot of New Yorkers here to see if their team couldn't clinch it tonight, and we don't have the answer for you yet. It's 5-3 Phillies. We're in the last half of the 8th inning.
And it has been a great ball game tonight. Very exciting. Just what you hoped it would be. You wanted to see the Phillies come out and really battle this New York Mets ball club tonight, and they have. And the Mets, to their credit, 5 down, come right back and make it a game.
In the inning, it's going to be Jeltz Aguayo batting out of the number 9 spot, and Reedus for the Phillies. And wouldn't they love to add something here? Jeltz has struck out, doubled, and walked tonight. Now he is facing Rick Anderson for the first time. Anderson, going into his 2nd inning of work, gave up 1 hit last inning. Oh, look out. Sharp foul the opposite way.
Boy, that's one you just hope it doesn't hit somebody, and luckily it didn't.
Rick Anderson, the 3rd New York pitcher, dealing. And he misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, we have our own personal crisis here at Veterans Stadium with all these media members attending here tonight. The press elevator is broken.
Which means the media will go down through the Phillies office elevator 2 at a time, like Noah's Ark.
Ball hit to left field. Wilson out there now. Mookie reaches up and grabs it for the out. Jeltz hits it to Mookie for out number 1.
Mookie scuffling out there in the outfield tonight. Look at his reaction. He misjudged that ball then, and it really took off on him, and he almost missed it.
Louis Aguayo will bat for the first time. Louis hitting at an even 200 with 3 homers and 10 RBIs. Strike. Phillies scored a run in the 1st inning, picked up an unearned run in the 3rd, and then got the big 3-run home run from Schmitty in the 5th. Mets got all of theirs in the 7th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Correction on the paid attendance, 43,070, not 17, but 70,070.
Thanks to Tony Siegel for coming in and helping us with that, hanging on your every word.
Must be. There's a line drive down to the left field corner. It is a fair ball home run. Louis Aguayo has lined one right on out of here. And the Phillies lead it 6-3. Aguayo's 4th home run of the year.
John Felsky making that double change, taking Samuel out of the game, batting Louis in that spot. Sammy's buddy. got the ball down and in and smoked it, and it was far enough. The only thing was it going to be fair or foul? And it went right off the pole down there, and I'm telling you, that ball's leaping to left field right now. Because it fooled Mookie Wilson, that first ball that Jeltz hit.
Here's Gary Reedus. He's 0 for 3 tonight with a walk, and he lines one to Ray Knight at third base. A wicked liner caught as Knight goes down to his knees to make the play.
Like Louis Aguayo batting out of that 8-hole now. The pitch from Rick Anderson, fastball down, and then it ran in. And look, he really nails this ball right there off the pole.
The batter is Milt Thompson. Thompson is 2 out of 4 tonight, and he scored twice.
The Phillies pick up a quick run there. Obviously, you need all you can against this club.
That will help. Bouncing foul. You're looking ahead to the Mets' 9th inning. It'll be Strawberry, Knight, and Tuffle scheduled to bat. Tuffle probably won't bat. They'll probably use Backman in that spot. A little bouncer along the first base side. Hernandez makes the play. So that's the third out, but the Phillies get an insurance run on the home run by Aguayo. 1 hit, nobody left on base. 8 full innings, 6-3 Phillies.
Hi, I'm Shane Raleigh of the Phillies. Like you, I'm concerned about money, how to take advantage of the new tax laws, how to make my money grow, and how to keep it safe while growing. I found the answer to building wealth with safety in an E.F. Hutton tax investment plan called TIP. And so can you. A one-time $400 fee provides you with a 25 to 30-page personal financial management plan, and it's deductible. For more information, call E.F. Hutton now, 1-800-331-1000, and let them prove it.
I have an appointment for a tune-up.
Good. Sit down. They're only 6 ahead of you.
But this can't be my bill.
Well, obviously, parts and labor are extra. Sorry.
You'll never hear sorry at Sparks. We honor appointments. We honor our stated price. And we deliver a quality tune-up in 45 minutes. Sparks Tune-Up. We service cars. We care about people.
And another look at the home run by Louis Aguayo. Running in fastball. Now, Louis knows it's got a chance. Oh, look at this shot. All right. Hooking, hooking, hooking. Catches the foul pole screen. Umpires really appreciate those screens. You know, if that ball were to have been hit to right field, it would have been a little tougher because that wind is blowing that screen so hard out there right now, it's moving. In left field, it's not moving like that.
Here's Darryl Strawberry to lead off the Mets' 9th inning. Strawberry with an RBI single his last time up. Jim Morrison has 2 home runs for the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight, but the Cubs are leading Pittsburgh by 1 run. Hayes makes the play, and Strawberry's retired on 1 pitch. They're in the last half of the 7th inning in Pittsburgh, and it's 7-6 Cubs over the Pirates. Sean Dunston has a home run for the Cubs. Ray Knight will be the hitter. Montreal and St. Louis in a 3-3 tie, and the Cardinal 3 runs were a 3-run home run by their pitcher, Bob Forsch. Knight is 1 for 3 tonight. Boston 3-2 over the Yankees. They've gone to the 8th inning. Bill Buckner with a pair of Sox home runs. Detroit 4-3 over Baltimore, top half of the 8th. Check swing roller, first base side, may stay fair. It does, and there's the second out. Knight retired on a check swing. And the Mets are down to their last out. It's going to be Wally Backman hitting for Tim Tuffle. Backman will come up as the pinch hitter. He's a switch hitter. But as a left-handed batter, he is hitting .344, .329 overall. Milwaukee 2, Toronto nothing at the end of 4. Chicago 2, California 1 there in the 7th. Cleveland 9-3 over Oakland in the 8th inning. Seattle 1, Kansas City nothing in the 6th. Minnesota 1, Texas nothing in the 5th. 6-3 score. Foul away. Well, these Mets fans haven't given up, have they? They came to all the trouble to get from New York to Philadelphia, and they're going to stick right to the end.
Well, if the Phillies can get one out here, some of them are going to need hotel rooms.
They can all come and stay with you, can't they?
No. They can really be tough to take. You know, they're even losing here tonight. We're number one. We're number one.
So it's 2-2 on Backman, platooning at second base with Tuffle.
They really have an outstanding ball club to watch this year.
Bedrock strikes him out. But Bedrosian picks up a save, and the Phillies have saved the Mets party for another night. In the ninth inning for New York, no runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. And the Phillies have won 6-3, preventing any clinch here tonight. We'll be right back.
Phillies baseball has been brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Hi, I'm Shane Raleigh of the Phillies. Like you, I'm concerned about money, how to take advantage of the new tax laws, how to make my money grow, and how to keep it safe while growing. I found the answer to building wealth with safety in an E.F. Hutton tax investment plan called TIP. And so can you. A one-time $400 fee provides you with a 25 to 30-page personal financial management plan, and it's deductible. For more information, call E.F. Hutton now, 1-800-331-1000, and let them prove it.
Nothing makes your day like helping others make it on their own.
You bring out the pride we all feel inside.
It's going to be easy next week.
It's more than just a job you do. You make America work, and this bus for you.
Good work. Here's to you, Beechwood Aged, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This bus for you.
Well, the Phillies were able to prevent the inevitable, at least for one evening here tonight. You kind of like what you saw about the Phillies because Bruce Ruffin went out and did what he's been doing since he joined the Phillies in late June, and Mike Schmidt did what he's been doing for the last 10 years.
Yeah, you like to keep that champagne on ice for another day, and you know, that's what we talked about in our pregame, Randy. You know, the Phillies really want to delay the Mets clinching. They played very well tonight. Ruffin did a great job. Defense played very well. The Phillies, you know, pecked out a few runs, used the long ball, which they use better than anybody in the league, and Bedrosian came in and did a great job. And what do you say about Ruffin? He's just amazing. He had the one inning, and he bent a little bit in that inning. He didn't break. He got out of it. And the Phillies go on and win the ball game. We'll come back here tomorrow night and have some more excitement.
Why not? And it was not a good night for New York in many ways. Their defense betrayed them, and they committed 4 errors, and one of the Phillies' runs was unearned. But Steve Bedrosian came on and did a fine job after Ruffin wilted a little bit there in the 7th inning. All right, let's go with the totals in this game won by the Phillies. The Phils had 6 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and they stranded 8. The Mets 3 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors, and they left 4 men on base. Ruffin the winner. He is 8-3. Bedrosian earns his 24th save. And Dwight Gooden was the loser, and his record is now 14-6. The producer for Phillies baseball on Prism is Randy Seidman. Tonight's game was directed by Frank D. Vancentis. Once again, the final score, 6-3 Phillies. Andy Muster for Chris Wheeler. Stay tuned for Prism Sports with Larry Rosen, followed by the movie All of Me.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is our post-game edition of Prism Sports tonight. I'm Larry Rosen. It was a tension-filled Veterans Stadium, a sea of blue out in front of the ballpark about 6:30 tonight as thousands of Met fans came down to Veterans Stadium to try to see a piece of history, which will be the first division title in 13 years for these New York Mets. But really, the inevitable has now been delayed for at least a night because the Phillies played some good baseball. The Mets did not look like world beaters as they have for the course of the season. Bruce Ruffin out pitching Dwight Gooden. The Phillies get a home run from Michael Jack, go on to close it out, win it by a final score of 6-3. We'll go back, recap all the key action from tonight's Prism exclusive, where again the Mets had that opportunity if Dwight Gooden could carry them home, and Dr. K, not his normal overpowering self, and his outfield didn't help much either. Mookie Wilson here in center field will misjudge the line shot from Von Hayes. Milt Thompson scores 83 RBIs now for Vaughn, a career high. And then Vaughn comes back, hits one that Mookie has some more difficulty with. This is a single. It will roll all the way back to the wall. Hayes will make third. Another bobble, a two-base error. And there he is at third base. And Mike Schmidt hits a rocket right at Ray Knight. He juggles, comes up, and throws late. Ruled an error. Hayes scored. It was 2-0. Again, that Bruce Ruffin in control early on, getting all those worm balls here and around the horn. Smooth 5-4-3 double play in inning number 5. A two-hitter through 5 for Ruff. And then the big blow of the ball game. Michael Jack gets a two-strike heater right down Broadway, drives it well on out of here to dead center field. Home run number 493 to tie Lou Gehrig in the career 109 in RBIs to lead the league, 35 home runs. MVP numbers from Michael Jack. Mets, of course, will come back, as they've done so often all year. A Darryl Strawberry single past Juan Samuel. Plates Hernandez with the first run. It was 5-1. Then Tim Tuffle, a double down the line. Fair ball will roll to the corner. Carter will score. Then Darryl Strawberry runs through a stop sign. Surprises Steve Jeltz, who double clutches, throws high. Strawberry safe, 5-3. But Louis Aguayo off Rick Anderson hits one that curls into that foul netting for a home run to give the Phillies the insurance run they needed. Steve Bedrosian comes back and blows away Wally Bachman. The Phillies win it by that final score of 6-3. So the Mets will have to wait until tomorrow night to try to clinch that first division title since 1973. They still have a 21-game lead, so again, it is just the inevitable awaiting. Tonight, elsewhere in the National League East, in the 9th inning right now, Chicago has gotten a 3-run home run from Shawan Dunston, his 16th, to take a 7-6 lead in that ball game. At Busch Stadium, starter Bob Forge, who is now the leader among pitchers' active home runs in the National League with Carlton in the American League, a 3-run shot, his second of the season. That's the scoring for those Cardinals. It's 3-3. Now, in the National League Western Division, the magic number for the Astros now down to 14, as Cincinnati and San Francisco kind of holding on, trying to stay alive out in the West. And tonight, as we go to the scoreboard, just underway at San Diego, Houston leads San Diego, or Houston and San Diego are scoreless in the first inning. Cincinnati and Los Angeles at 10:35, Atlanta and San Francisco at 11:05. In the American League East, that had been a pennant race for about 2 weeks when the Blue Jays made a big-time run, but the Red Sox magic number is now down to 14 games, and they are cruising to what should be an easy division title. As we look at the scores on this evening, the Sox again having a big ball game courtesy of the long ball. Bill Buckner, a 2-run shot, his 16th. He has 4 RBIs in the night, also with a solo home run, number 17. Jim Rice, a 2-run home run, his 19th, and it's 7-2 as that game is in the 9th inning. Milwaukee on top of Toronto, 2-1. Detroit leading Baltimore, so the magic number could be reduced by 2 on both those teams in the American League East. In the American League West right now, California has put a lot of distance between themselves and those Texas Rangers, but Texas should get a lot of credit out of Bobby Valentine for the great year they've turned in 1986. The magic number right now at 15. And in action tonight, California tied 2-2 with Chicago in the 7th inning, and Minnesota is leading Texas 4-0 after 5 innings of play, so the magic number not apparently going to be reduced. And Kansas City tonight, Seattle a 1-0 lead in the 7th inning. Cleveland leads Oakland 9-3, but for Oakland, Terry Steinbeck hit his first Major League home run in his first Major League at-bat, so he will get a line of agate type in the baseball record book. Jose Canseco hit home run number 31 for Oakland as well. The Minnesota Twins have fired manager Ray Miller, replaced him with third base coach Tom Kelly for the rest of this season. The Twins are 59-80, last place in the American League West, the second worst record in baseball. Now to football, where the Eagles face the Chicago Bears this Sunday at Soldier Field. Mike Tomczak will start in place of the injured Jim McMahon. Eagles coach Buddy Ryan says he doesn't think it's going to change the game plan one little bit.
I don't think he'll play. My oldest boy was there at the game, and he called me last night and said he thought he dislocated his shoulder. And then my twins called him Oklahoma and said it was only a bruise, and how they found all this out. But then I heard from Ed today that it was a slight separation, so I don't think it's pretty hard to play with a separated shoulder. But the kid they got backing him up is doing an excellent job. He's been there every time they put him in, he goes down and scores. So it's not going to be easy, especially with Walter Payton back there. You know, you got to stop Walter Payton to start with, and then worry about everybody else second. They got a Super Bowl team. I'd like to beat anybody. I mean, and, you know, we're getting hungry for a win. But you know, they have a Super Bowl team. We're a young team trying to struggle for you know, recognition. So it'll be a great challenge for us.
And once again tonight here on Prism, the Phils deny the Mets the division title. Champaign will stay on ice until tomorrow night. A night of history for Michael Jack Schmidt, who tied Lou Gehrig with home run number 493. He's 14th on the all-time list now with 35 home runs. This season, 109 RBIs, MVP numbers once again being posted by Mike Schmidt. For Bruce Ruffin, another win. Steve Bedrosian, yet another save. And coming up next here on Prism, Lily Tomlin and Steve Martin join forces, literally, in the comedy All of Me. Stay tuned, it's next. And that's it for this post-game edition of Prism Sports. I'm Larry Rosen. Join Ken Adelberger at 7:40 tomorrow night for more Prism Sports. Till then, good night.